Good afternoon and welcome, everybody. This would be the Jeff Cameron Show right here on 97.9 ESPN Radio. Thanks for tuning to it. I'm Jeff, that's Tom. Welcome in, everybody. We're online, ESPNTallahassee.com. That's where you go to listen live via the streaming free always. Don't miss anything. Sometimes you do, and when that happens, I'm sorry to hear it, first of all, but your lives are busy. Mine, too. Good thing we've got iTunes. Good thing we've got the archived audio there as well as on the, website as well, ESPNTallahassee.com. Email us if you like, JCS at 979ESPNradio.com. On Twitter, it's at Jay Cameron Show. The WTSM app working well for all your mobile devices. Hello, YouTubers. Hello, Periscopers. I hope you guys are all right as well. Florida State's doing well in recruiting, man. Rich get richer, Tom. Look at us. All right, top 10, up to number 8 in the composite rankings. Look at us.
Hello once again, friends. It's time for What Them Kids Doing.
Look at that jibber jabber Jeff. What's that kid bench? How fast does he run?
Hey, who let you in here?
Look at him. I bet he can bench a lot. What them kids doing, Jeff?
Well, they're committing to Florida State in a way we did not suspect after last year's 5-7 disaster. This time around, it's another ring. Four-star running back Lawrence Toafili says yes to Florida State, making him the second four-star running back to say yes to Florida State in, the last 10 days?
War daddies.
And here's the good news. Similar to the other good news, the last time we were talking about running backs in Florida State and getting commitments and all that good stuff, we were able to mention that we had beat out Ohio State. This time around, we say we beat out Alabama. Okay, then. Doing some damn things up here. Wow. Some of these other guys that have signed over the course of this class, and, we get excited about kids no matter what because you want them to do well and they're going to be Knowles. But let's admit it. When you look at that offer sheet and it says, as I've mentioned before, that you beat out Louisiana Lafayette, you're a little less excited about their commitment.
Yeah.
Because you want to know the caliber of player you think you're getting. No guarantees. Everybody knows that. But if Georgia likes a kid and Ohio State likes a kid and Alabama likes a kid and you beat those kids, you beat those kids. Sorry, I sound like Tyreek Hill.
Or Adrian Peterson.
No, you beat those teams, you beat those schools for their services, then obviously you've done some things because those are the big daddies in recruiting right now, along with Clemson, and so I'm excited. I am, and I know they bring in a couple of explosive running backs here in the last couple weeks, and for Florida State, it means a move into the top 10, like I said. For perception reasons, I mean, tangible ones as well, but for perception, that's real momentum. That influences other kids. There's a spark right now. There's a little something in the air right now, and it's against most odds. It really is. I mean, it's highly improbable, this class, in my mind, for 2020, given just how pathetic this football team played a year ago, and moreover, how disorganized they look. There are a lot of different ways to finish sub 500. Some of them are the result of, a devastating rash of injury. Some of them is that you're simply not talented enough at a key position group, and you're exposed repeatedly. And sometimes it's because you're a disorganized mess. And we were pretty much all three. We were terrible in a lot of ways. And so I did not anticipate that you would parlay that season into this class, which is, again, verbal. Right now, these are all verbal commitments. These kids could watch us play football, and if we go out there and stink to high heaven and start the year 1-2, one by one, these kids could go, yeah, I know I said I was committed, and you guys have put the onus on that in a way that's different this year with your pitch and your recruited methodology, but you didn't hold up your end of the bargain. I'm no longer committed. I'm going to go somewhere where they're committed to winning, and you're not doing that. I could see it. Right, got it. But I think this is probably not just a sign that things are better now than they were a year ago, because it is. I think it's also, in a weird way, this recruiting class, again, it sounds strange to say this, 2020's recruiting class, being ranked in the top 10 and the momentum that they've been able to develop as a coaching staff, I think is a sign that things are going to be better on the football field this year. because it speaks to that organization that was lacking a year ago. Part of the problem we had last year was a convoluted, disjointed mess of a staff that didn't work well together. That obviously affects the on-the-field product. It affects the development of players. One hand didn't know what the other one was doing. Clearly, they cleaned it up. SNL was a raging success. That took mass organization and overhaul in ways that we didn't see a year ago. This class being put together in this way means that kids have come here, they've visited, they've listened, they've talked, they believe. That only happens if you got a clue what you're doing, if you've got a much better handle on what's going on behind the scenes. And I think that probably portends of on-the-field success. Now, to what extent? That's what everybody's going to ask. I get it. Does that mean, Jeff, you're saying we're going to win 10 games because we put together a top 8 class right now? No. There are personnel problems. That's not going to get better just because you're more organized. You got to get better players. That's what this class is about, getting those better players. But you're still not real deep at linebacker. I don't know how talented you are at linebacker either. I hope your frontline guys are good enough. You're still not real talented on the offensive line. You're a more cohesive unit. You're probably better coached right now. Certainly, they have more confidence and they believe in each other more than they did a year ago. That much is evident just to listen to them talk. Signs that practice is going well for that group up front. That's all well and good, but they're still lacking elite talent at the position. You bring in a Dante Lucas, that's a good start. But again, it's a bad sign that he's already probably one of the best linemen you have, and he's going to start as a true freshman. That's not a good sign. That lets you know you're lacking depth and talent at the position. So that will come back to bite you against the better teams. You're going to still lose those games in the trenches where you don't have the ability to sustain over 3 and 4 quarters of football because you lack depth. One guy goes down, now you're shuffling guys. Now you got guys playing out of position. Now you got guys playing before they're ready, and you lose games. So I'm not saying, hey, listen, all hail this group. They've turned it all the way around. Let's go watch us win 10, 11 games. I am saying they're going to be better this year, and I think we see signs of that every day. And each time we see a kid like this commit to Florida State, again, it's a telling sign that things are much, much better behind the scenes.
Yeah, I think you're right that things have to be in order for this many things to go right for you coming off of a 5-7 season. It's just common sense. The sense I get around it all is that we're not a finished product, both obviously on the field, but behind the scenes. But we're getting there. We're much better than we were this time last year, where at least you have more people pulling in the same direction or more people trusted to do their jobs than they actually do. I'll be interested to see, once we get to kickoff, in just a few weeks. It feels like this particular week has taken 8 days to get to Thursday. I mean, the clock has slowed down. The calendar.
Long damn week, Tom.
We cannot peel the days off. It's like the same one behind it over and over and
Groundhog
over again.
Day.
A little bit.
My kids love it.
Hey, campers, what are they, It's Sonny and Cher. Yeah. That's what it feels like. But I do want to see how the details actually translate on the field. I want to see that the substitution patterns look okay. I want to see that special teams seems buttoned up. I take you totally at your word that kids probably wouldn't say yes to Florida State this summer, coming off a 5-7 season, if things weren't more buttoned up and we had a better way of doing everything we do as a football program. I agree. That has to be true.
It has to be true.
I still want to see 11 guys on the field on special teams. I still want to see us not calling timeouts for no reason.
You want to get lined up correctly before you get too excited? Yeah.
It's another clicky pen thing, but it's a different variety of a clicky pen.
It's a good one, man. I'm telling you, it's a real good sign. They may not be a great football team. There won't be a great football team. I can say that. They won't be a great football team this year. But there's a chance that they could be a pretty good football team. And they're going to have to overcome some weakness. There's no doubt that offensive line, no matter how much better they're playing right now than they were a year ago, they're still not going to be good. I have some thoughts on that later in the show, too. I mean, we'll get more into the offensive line in a bit. I do like the reports I'm getting out of camp, and I continue to hear good things on that note. I would also say that, they're not going to be good at linebacker. They'll be okay. They might be okay at linebacker. Amari Gaynor could really help this group quite a bit, I think. I'm real high on him.
But is he going to play as a rush end? Is he going to play as an actual
outside linebacker, running around making plays, baby? That's what he's going to do.
So he's not the rush linebacker, but he's the weak side.
You can use him any way you want to use him.
See, this is what I'm
it's
talking
a versatility,
about. We don't know where anybody's going to play.
He's going to play outside linebacker. That's what he's going to do.
So is he going to be Kando, or is he going to be like Derek Brooks on the weak side?
He's better than Kando. He's on the damn field. Listen.
In Kando's position, counselor.
Well, we're not. Listen, we've got our 3 tackles, our big dudes up front, and then the other guys running around.
Now, that's a philosophy, yeah.
We're gonna confuse them. We're gonna run around.
You know, you encapsulated it perfectly. That's what I'm hearing. That's what it sounds like to me. I know that can't be what their plan is, but that's what it sounds like to me.
No,
we got our 3 guys, then Dontavius is in the middle, and then we're all gonna run around, make some plays.
Yeah, we're gonna be out in space making plays. That's what we're gonna do.
Hamza, well, he's gonna be making plays. I thought he was a linebacker. Well, he's gonna be out there.
He's out there making plays. He's just a playmaker, Tom. We're gonna play him at playmaker. Where's Hamza gonna start at? Playmaker. What are you going to do with Amari Gaynor? He's a playmaker as well. We put him on the other side, the other playmaker.
We coach him to be 5 to 7 paces apart and then just make plays.
Just run around and make plays, man. Come on. Take on a block every now and again. Well, listen, we got time for that. The first scrimmage will be coming up. We'll find out where people were. I mean, in truth, all jokes aside, you're right. These roles are obviously going to be clearly defined. It's not willy-nilly. But the only thing we are sure of right now is who's playing corner, who's playing safety, who are the down linemen. But we still got to see who's doing what and
Slot
how often.
defenders, the money position,
all that stuff. Yeah, we still got to see all that stuff. But camp's been good so far, and it's been good for a few players that I know we had high expectations for. I do like knowing that Laybourne has hit the ground running. Looks great, is having a good camp early on. I expect the world of him. He's a unique talent, and I think he's going to have a big year. I've talked a lot about Keyshawn Helton. I think he's going to have a big year. I think really any of the slot guys in this offense are going to – DJ could have a real good year too. So it's exciting.
I'd be interested to see how this the distribution of carries and touches shakes out by, midseason between Cam and LeBourne. And the reason I say that is the deeper we get into his career – it feels like Cam would have been better served to go to LSU or, a place where the pro style set
or where he came, Florida State with Jimbo. But then Jimbo,
LeBourne,
turned his back. And
if he has the ability like we saw last year for like that one good play before he got hurt.
It was crazy.
That does seem to fit like the style of offense that we're running a little bit more than Cam. It's not to say that we can't be tough up the middle. I want to see how that touch distribution
looks. Listen, for running backs, I know what you're saying, and I know why you're saying it. But at the end of the day, for running backs, you got to be able to block a little bit. You got to, there are only so many Dalvin Cooks in the world, and they're few and far between. We now look back on that era and really realize that at the end of a certain coach's time, had there been no Dalvin Cook, this demise would have been
accelerated.
Oh, to say the least. Dalvin did things that we've never seen anybody do. I mean, I was the biggest fan in the world of Warwick Dunn, and I talked about him nonstop, still do. But Dalvin Cook was the best running back we ever had. I mean, we watched that guy do things that I didn't think was possible. And
that's crazy to me. I can't do that in my own mind because Warwick Dunn was a hero growing up. And I don't really remember him running as much as I do remember cheering for him because you're little. But seeing Dalvin Cook and for it to be it's a no-brainer, huh?
I think so. Now, Florida State fans, my fellow Florida State fans, your fellow Florida State fans might argue with me. I have people who have. I'm not here to in any way besmirch Warwick Dunn, who I absolutely
terrible
adore.
Person.
I mean,
tongue-in-cheek, everyone.
Who I adore, and who, by the way, was an awesome football player.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that can't be overstated. He was an awesome player.
Ahead of his time in the NFL.
And, yes, he was. But that's how special Dalvin was. For me to be able to say, and I love Warwick Dunn, and Warwick has come on this show, 10 times in my career at least. I mean, I've
been here for 2 or 3 of them.
Yeah, Warwick's been on a ton. I mean, and I know him. Like, when I see him at games, we say hello, all that. I love the guy. Dalvin was better. I wouldn't say that to Warwick, but I think Dalvin was better.
Well, the numbers say that for sure.
Well, but the point is this. Anyhow, it doesn't matter. We're getting off on a beaten path here. Off the beaten path. It doesn't matter. The reality is most running backs, save for Dalvin, most running backs need you to block a little bit. They need a little bit of help. The only other guy who didn't was Barry Sanders.
No, 100%. Like, I know that Cam can and will
can
produce
Cam
if somebody
can be a real good player
gives him a chance to get to the freaking line of scrimmage.
That's right.
I 100% understand that. It's just LeBourne momentum is real, and we've seen what he can be high school tape and then briefly here. it kind of jives with what we want to do. But then again, we could have many phases to our running game in terms of personality.
Yeah. Well, I'm I guess I would say emboldened by the fact that when you go back and you look at the successes that Kendall Briles has had, he's done it both ways. There have been teams that really hurt you on the ground. It hasn't just been about playing fast and throwing the football.
Part of it is I hope we actually get to use Cam up to his potential.
Right.
That's part of it.
You're worried that the time is nigh. He's running out of time. Eligibility. He's just running out of time to be the back that we thought was so special. Hey, listen.
That is. I believe that, too.
Well, and no matter what happens, I mean, we always have the run that he finished against Miami.
Mm-hmm.
My God, that poor kid. It's not up to Greg Jones' standard, but that was
a
wrong.
chance for 2 or 3 more of those. Come on.
Oh, I want 10 of them. I want him to have a big year this year. I think that there's room enough in that backfield for a lot of guys to step up, and especially if we're running 85 to 95 plays.
Ryan Green this year, I mean, he's got a chance.
You're a hero. Remember that glimmer of hope that you had when he went to Bucs camp and played well?
He did, yeah.
He played well, and there were reports that they really liked, and then it didn't happen. And I remember thinking,
he's going to be a waiver wire pickup week 6 that nobody thinks about, and he's going to go 3 straight games.
Where is he?
I don't know. That's what I'm saying. Literally, an NFL team after an injury. An NFL team after an injury is going to pick that guy up, and he's going to be on a decent team, so they've got balance on offense.
He could be playing Canadian football right now. He could be on a team.
I know that's where James Wilder is. He's a star up there.
The other night, I think it was on the other night. I was flipping around. I think there was a game on, and I couldn't do it. As a kid, I used to watch Canadian football all the time. This is before your time.
Yes, it is.
The old ESPN back in the day, where they didn't have 24 hours. I mean, they had it, but they didn't actually have enough in the way of substance to program for 24 hours. So you saw crazy stuff. They used to program a ton of Canadian football, CFL football. I used to watch it all the time. But they also used to have, and that's how I got addicted, Australian rules football. Oh, those were the days.
Nobody has that still, right?
I can't find it. I mean, I think you can get it online. You can get anything online. I'm telling you right now, I've said this before. If there were a damn Australian rules football league in America, people would flock to it. They'd watch it. It's freaking awesome. It combines all the elements of things we love. It's got a little hockey to it. It's got a little soccer to it. It's got football to it. It's got rugby to it. Guys take each other's heads off. There's endurance and strength and accuracy, ass beatings. It's awesome. That's just an aside.
Who was your team, or did you just watch the sport?
I just watched the sport. I didn't really have a team. My brother lived in Australia for 3 years. I forget who his team was, but that was he would tell me they're playing. He was going, and it's cool because you'd go over there and they love it like we like the NFL. Stadiums are packed. It's cold. It's awesome. Anyhow, I got pumped for some Australian rules football just now.
How does nobody have that?
I think they do. I think it's on probably one of those Fox Sports 17.
Fox Sports 2.
Yeah. I think so. I just haven't spent a lot of time looking for it. Anyhow, we got a kid. He said yes. I think it's an indicator that we're about to be a much better football team. Not elite, just better. We're more organized. We're seeing results in recruiting because of it.
Did we name him off? Lawrence Toafili?
Yeah, I said his name.
You did? Okay.
It was just 25 minutes ago when we started the show.
Sorry, boys, I did not have time to pack.
We got this.
It's right here, guys.
We got this.
I thought I could handle it.
We got this.
Moving doesn't have to be a hassle. Call us first at 2 Men and a Truck. No matter the move, home or business, we'll make it a smooth one.
I forgot something.
We got this.
Because we don't get paid unless we win, we want to win every case as much as Chipper Jones wanted to win every game. So when you're injured, don't just trust any law firm to handle your case. Make the call to the bullpen for a trusted closer. To see our stats on the back of our baseball card, visit wrongfullyinjured.com. Fonville Lewis, Messer McConaughey. Personal injury law is all we do.
Thursdays are Friday Eve, and that's a reason to celebrate. No matter what you're looking for, they've got you covered every Thursday down in College Town. Centrale offers 50% off select pizzas all day, every Thursday. Or you can stop by Township for Taco Thursday. $2 house tacos, $2. Madison Social offers the Social Agreement. You and a buddy can split one order of wings, 2 Madso burgers, 2 bourbons, 2 proof Madison Socials, all for just $40. See what they did there? And don't worry about parking. Plenty of spaces available in the parking deck or surrounding lots. Check out all the Thursday College Town deals right now on ThursdaysInCollegetown.com.
Don't start your day off with the same old boring breakfast. Stop by the Bagel Market and Bistro on Thomasville Road and the Persimmon Hills Shopping Plaza. They have fresh baked bagels and cream cheese every Monday for only $1.50. Green smoothies and great salads like the spinach apple salad. Muffins and cinnamon rolls are also options for breakfast. Sandwiches, salads, and more for lunch and dinner. Open 7 days a week. Check them out online at thebagelmarketandbistro.com or on Facebook and give them a call at 765-0598.
Tallahassee Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram is the Jeep headquarters of America. We've purchased over 100 Jeep Renegades, and they've all arrived and are on the lot for immediate delivery. 2018 Jeep Renegade Latitude with MSRP starting at $25,120. On sale now for $18,870. That's a savings of $6,250. A new Jeep starting at only $18,870. Those prices are unheard of and can only be found at your Jeep headquarters of America, Tallahassee Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram. No other dealer can offer you this kind of savings. We buy in mass quantities and pass along the savings to you. 2018 Jeep Renegade Latitude, starting at $18,870. Payments as low as $299 a month. On the corner of West Tennessee and Capitol Circle, where we're right on the corner and always right on the price. Check us out on the web at TallahasseeDCJ.com. All prices include rebates and incentives plus tax, title, and dealer fee. State number 18J605. Must finance through Chrysler Capital and qualify for all rebates and incentives.
Welcome back to CarMax Will Buy It. Let's jump right back into the action. A used minivan with 200,000 miles. Cassandra.
CarMax will buy it.
That's correct. The car you're driving now. Cassandra again.
CarMax will buy it.
You're on a roll. Any car at all, no matter what. Jerry?
Is the answer CarMax will buy it?
That's right. Because CarMax buys all the cars, no matter what. No questions asked. CarMax will buy it.
It's Golick and Wingo.
Dude, Jerry, you built the team and you picked Ezekiel Elliott 4th overall in the draft in 2016 to be exactly what he is and give you the production exactly what you wanted. And your entire offense is built around Ezekiel Elliott being that guy. So you can sit there and say, well, you don't need this guy to win a Super Bowl. History shows us that. Yeah, you're right. But you know what? Your team, the team that you put together as a general manager, your team absolutely has to have Ezekiel Elliott to have any kind of success.
So let me put it to you this way. If you can only afford to pay one of those guys this year, you paying him or you paying Dak?
You're going to say this is a cop-out. They have the money to pay them both. And I get it, they have other issues they got to get done. They also have to do Travis Frederick's deal. I think Byron Jones also is coming up.
So that's the thing. So at the end of all this, it's just posturing.
Golick and Wingo, weekdays at 6 a.m. on 97.9 ESPN Radio. This is the Jeff Cameron Show on 97.9 ESPN Radio.
Hello. I'm going to give a shout out to Tom Hayden. Send me a Lebowski shirt. He deserves a shout out for that.
So he's the one who sent the shirt.
Yeah.
One of our better emailers in the life of the FM Dial Show.
Yeah, Tom sent it to me, and I appreciate that. I very much appreciate that. And way to go, Tom. He said, and I want you to know that he would have sent you one too, but they didn't have. Well, here it was. Here's what he wrote. I'm not going to read everything he wrote. I bought my buddy a T-shirt from this Lebowski bar in Iceland, and to summarize, long story short, he bought him this. It didn't fit him. It's never been worn. It's all yours. Small token of appreciation for the content over the decades. And he said, I only had one extra. Otherwise, I'd be giving one to Tom as well. So there you go.
It's the thought that
counts, right?
There you go, Tom.
Yeah.
It's a hell of a name you got there.
All right. Football galore tonight. If you're out and about, or even if you're not, but if you are, say you went by, I don't know, Bumpus, and you were in there and you were hanging out, you could look up at the mini screens and you'd go, look at that. There's a different game on every one of these televisions.
Woo!
Yeah. And the Bucks are tomorrow night. And we'll have that game for you right here on 97.9 ESPN Radio. That's a good. That's right. There you go, Rick. That's a very exciting Friday evening. Couple tall, cold ones and Buccaneers football.
There might be.
It could happen.
Yeah, watch those starters for a drive.
It could happen. I'm excited.
Fire them cannons!
I was thinking, Gene's been doing this a long time. I don't know how in the world he does Saturday and Sunday. You think about just broadcasting like we do, just doing what we do.
Mm-hmm.
There's a real come down after these shows. It's an interesting thing. For the hour or two, sometimes after the week, too, you're just sort of that Friday, you're in a haze. Because there's something about live radio. There's something about the energy that you have to bring and the good kind of nervousness that you get before every broadcast. It's a good kind. It's not like you fear it. It's that adrenaline rush you get when you like doing something and you're excited to be able to engage in that activity. And I get that every time I go play golf. Like, not nervous, but I'm like, oh, I get to go play golf. Don't screw it up. Which is probably the wrong mentality to have.
Probably.
But I get excited. I get excited that I'm on the golf course, right? I get excited every time I sit down in front of a microphone like this and I get to do the show. They're still paying me to do the show. This is great. And it's fun. But Gene, I can only imagine what it's like doing a Florida State play-by-play for a big game. And then the turnaround, sometimes it's late, and you got to fly down there or haul ass in your RV, says the voice, and you make your way to Tampa to do a Bucks game, or you fly to Minneapolis or something. I'd be exhausted.
It's exhausting. For me, I think the hardest part would be like the pregame and postgame shows, because you got to get in and out so often with so many different elements, and you got to make sure all the sponsors are happy. Just to, kind of the hard part of the gig, which is to make sure that you do all your requirements, because the game itself is at least content. Like, if you're doing a show like this, you've got to think about the content. You have to give it a lot of thought, and then you got to argue your point or whatever it is, but it's not before you. Like, you're not looking at something happening and judging what's happening or telling people what's happening. You have to think about why it means something, why it's important. So, like, the critical thinking for the 3 hours of this show, I think it would be tougher in a way than the play-by-play. But then he's got to do adjacencies. He's got to do the pregame, the postgame. I mean, that's a lot. That's a 5-6 hour broadcast for both sports.
Post-game broadcast, to me, far and away, the tougher deal. I like
got to think of questions.
Well, yeah, and a lot of times it's formulaic and annoying because you're so up against it and it's regimented. I'm like you. I prefer a pregame show. They're fun to do because you feel the energy and you feed off the energy of game day. That's what you're feeding off of. When we come in and we do our pregame show, and we're happy to report we will be doing our pregame show again this year. Really looking forward to it. When you wake up that morning, usually we compare notes. I call you, say what time are we getting to the studio, what do you want to do prep-wise and all that stuff. But that's no different than the average fan. I mean, when you get up on a Saturday morning, and soon, my friends, soon we all will be doing this, when you get up on a Saturday morning and it's a full slate of games, you're kind of doing the same research I'm doing. You're looking around the country. What are the bigger matchups? What do we think about our game? What are the implications? All that stuff.
Like, that's not a joke now. That music is not a joke. That's happening. That's something that's coming very, very soon.
Made me smile. There aren't too many sounds like, football sounds do, but that one made me smile. I also immediately thought about how many of these we had to do last year after a loss.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true.
Welcome into Tallahassee Game Day.
Oh, yeah.
And we ended up having to say, okay.
But it's even comforting to hear, like, ESPN Television's big voice guy. He's like, you're watching College Game Day. And you're like, yes, I am. How did you know? Cheez-Its, sure. Why not?
Yeah.
Sounds good.
In a matter of golly, less than a month. Watching game day.
Shoot, man. You got 16 days until Florida and Miami play.
Which is also what? That's right. The listener appreciation.
Libations Fest on a Saturday.
Libations Friday Fest on a Saturday. A reminder, we will be doing that August the 24th. There it is. Boom, just like that. We will be at the Corner Pocket Bar and Grill. It will be a swell time. It always is. We get a chance to say thank you, and we do that in the way of hugs. And
stuff.
Beers. And gifts.
Yes, and we've got a really cool announcement coming on Monday. Very excited about this. You may want to be listening on Monday because it's about...
You always want to listen on a Monday, folks.
Signing up quickly for one of these things. Because
one of these
it's going to be
gifts?
a sign-up gift, but you're really going to like it, I think.
Speaking of which, as we get set to go to break here for a second, because I went long in the first segment, I don't always structure the show the way that it's idealized, folks. It's the way that people would like me to, like my bosses. That said, I do want to remind you that you have an opportunity to win 10 free classes from my friends at Orange Theory. It shuts down that little opportunity to sign up by going to our webpage, ESPNTallahassee.com. It's right on the front page. Can't miss it. You'll see my logo, the Jeff Cameron Show logo, and of course, the Orange Theory logo, where I ran my ass off yesterday, buddy. Up hills. Got after it. Feeling good. Loved it. Still do. You can experience this for free. Get 10 of these classes for free just by signing up. You basically have to give very little information. They'll send you some promo stuff, all that, but not much. They're not going to burden you. There's not going to be a million emails or anything like that. Go to the website and get signed up. Tomorrow we'll probably, maybe just after the show you want to do it? You want to shut it down tomorrow, after or pre-show?
After. One more wave.
Yeah, you got one more wave. Yeah. So don't be lazy. Go to ESPNTallahassee.com and sign up for your chance to win 10 free classes. It's Jeff Cameron Show, 97.9 ESPN Radio.
Yo, you better give me that money.
Sorry, boys, I did not have time to pack.
We got this.
It's right here, guys.
We got this.
I thought I could handle it.
We got this.
Moving doesn't have to be a hassle. Call us first at 2 Men and a Truck. No matter the move, home or business, we'll make it a smooth one.
I forgot something.
We got this.
Plays quarterback in general. Field Yates on Golick and Wingo. 49ers defensive end Nick Bosa will miss the rest of the preseason with a significant right ankle sprain. He got hurt during Wednesday's practice when a teammate fell on his leg. Bosa was the second overall pick in the draft out of Ohio State. There were no spectators on the course when the first round of the PGA Tour playoffs started at Liberty National in New Jersey today. Damage from a Wednesday storm forced some repairs and cleanup. Fans weren't allowed in until 10 a.m. local time. Troy Merritt is the leader after a 9-under 62, one shot ahead of Dustin Johnson. Tiger Woods, battling a sore back this week, shoots a 4-over 75 today.
Great news. There's a quick way you could save money. Switch to Geico. Geico could help you get great coverage at a great price. And it only takes 15 minutes to see if you could save 15% or more on car insurance. Go to geico.com today and see how much you could save.
Hendrick.
It's the Hendrick Summer Sales Event at Dale Earnhardt Jr. Buick GMC. Save big on over 200 new Buick and GMC cars, trucks, and SUVs. We are professional grade. DaleJr.BuickGMC.com.
Tallahassee loves the corner pocket as much as a crystal ball winning catch.
He's looking, he lost it to the end zone. It's Benjamin! Touchdown! With 13 seconds left.
The 97.9 ESPN radio special is a must-have every Monday and Wednesday at the corner pocket. 10 mouth-watering wings, a fresh side of fries, and a chilled domestic pint of beer are just $9.79 all day long. Be sure and try the fish blend of sauces, a true wing eater's favorite. The Corner Pocket Bar and Grill.
He's gone!
Home of Trivia Tuesday, Beer Bingo Thursday, and the daily $7.99 lunch special.
Out on the golf course, there are the obvious hazards. There's the pond, the bunker, the rough, the even rougher.
Yeah, put me down for an 8.
The giant maples. The row of houses out of bounds on the right. The angry flock of geese who've surrounded your ball. even the occasional groundskeeper you had no clue was there. But if you think you found every possible hazard out there, think again. The hazard you missed could actually be a killer. It's the spot on your skin, the one that could be skin cancer. Fact is, if you're a man over 50, you're in a group most likely to develop skin cancer, including melanoma, the kind that kills one person every hour. 1 in 5 Americans is likely to develop a form of skin cancer during their lifetime. That's why your best shot is to check for a spot. It's easy. Follow through and check your skin. It could be the save of a lifetime. Go to spotskincancer.org to find out how. A message from the American Academy of Dermatology.
Seminoles, it's 2019 and a new football season is amongst us. It's a new day, and we have an opportunity to build this program back to where it belongs, together. Every day we get one step faster, one rep stronger. The journey to the top includes you. We are one tribe together, and we remain unconquered. We need you in Doak Campbell Stadium this fall, and that begins by getting season tickets now. Visit us online at Seminoles.com or call 1-888-FSU-NOLE and get ready to hear
Touchdown, Florida State!
Very soon.
Hey, buddy, listen, I'm curious, kind of solve a debate I'm having with my wife here, and I feel a little guilty, so I figured I'd ask you. When was the first time you ever cursed in front of your kids?
Jeff, in front of your kids or at your kids?
Okay, you saw right through me. You're right. At your children.
Well, Jeff, I mean, I don't know. What was it, 2 months old? Couldn't sleep, a little sleep deprived.
Okay, I'm not talking about when they pee on you and stuff like that, Eddie, and they're never going to remember it. I'm talking about, like, I got a little mad today, and I said something to my kid, and it may not have been the nicest thing to say, and I realized that I cursed at my kid.
Well, Jeff, that happens to guys like you. To me, I would never do such a thing. But,
This guy. I'll have some mahi fingers and think about it.
You should, because that always helps you think. And it's a form of penance. I'm going to charge you double.
Charge me double. I curse at my kids, everybody. Gordo's, bringing the flavor and flair of Cuban food to Tallahassee since 1996.
Are you looking for a trucking company you can work with till retirement? If so, join the early trucking family that has been trucking for over 25 years. ETC is now hiring regional dry van drivers. ETC is now hiring drivers for regional milk tanker routes. Benefits include working with new equipment, a $65,000 average salary, paid time off and sick leave, several drop and hook locations, and a 6 days on, 2 days off schedule that runs mostly in the Southeast. ETC offers a benefit package that's second to none, including 401k, Blue Cross Blue Shield Health, vision and dental insurance, and a $25,000 life insurance policy while employed. Go to earlytruckingcompany.com to fill out an application. Help ETC keep agriculture in motion.
Broadcasting live from the Tallahassee Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram Fiat Studios in the capital city of Tallahassee. This is the Jeff Cameron Show, brought to you by Cornerstone Tool and Fastener on 97.9 ESPN Radio.
Let me warn you, if you plan to tune into a lot of football tonight because you can, which is cool, you might get frustrated over the course of this preseason. At some point, we all do anyhow because it's preseason football. But coaches surveyed this month indicated they will use their challenge flags liberally. Easier for you to say. In preseason games, hoping to compile a collective library of the type of contact that would or would not prompt Senior Vice President of Officiating Al Riverton to overturn a judgment call on the field. Okay. So a lot of challenge flags just to see how this new rule works with coaches being able to challenge pass interference calls. Retired referee John Perry, now an ESPN rules analyst, estimated there will be as many as 60 such challenges in the course of 65 games. For context, NFL coaches challenged 156 total calls in 256 regular season games last year. I just want to make sure that I understand and that we understand as coaches exactly what they're going to overturn or not, said Vikings coach Mike Zimmer. I'm under the understanding that they're not going to put many flags on the field and they're not going to pick up many. But if they start slowing that camera down to look at it frame by frame, who knows? That's why in the preseason, You might as well use those challenges just to see what happens. Well, that doesn't make for very engaging viewing for all of us as they sit around and go frame by frame and decide whether or not they're going to call pass interference on that play or not.
Probably not, but I would say that what the OJ trial did for legal analysts on TV, NFL Replay has done for rules analysts on
Retired
television.
officials, yes.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, those guys are loving the paycheck that goes along with having to say about 5 words a game.
Yeah, I can think about probably 6 or 7 of them off the top of my head that are either on TV or work on websites, and I'm sure collect a nice paycheck
Who's
for doing
the one
it.
that's always wrong?
Mike Carey was the one that was always wrong.
God almighty.
He got fired. Gene Steratore took that over.
I was always like, Mike, what in the hell are you talking about?
And CBS was efficient with their dollars because they got Steratore for football and for college basketball because he was a Big Ten official, and he was the one who explained the Virginia call in the corner of the Final Four, and he was spot on.
He was spot on with that call. Yeah. That sucked for them too, by the way. That was brutal because it was needless.
Yeah. Yeah, 100% needless, but by the letter of the law, as he explained it as we were watching the replay, you're like, oh, well, that's enlightening. Shouldn't it always be like this?
I actually thought it was a foul live. I was like that. Yeah, he got him.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, he got him. You gotta let somebody land, man.
That ended up being a pretty good tournament. A lot of fun to watch.
That tournament was awesome.
Yeah. Because the start of it was slow. He didn't have a whole lot of Cinderella stuff.
It was the redemption story for Virginia.
Yeah, it really was.
That was 2 birds to everybody who made fun of him for a year.
Because the Auburn finish in round 1 was so nuts, but then they ended up going, a long way.
Yeah, it absolutely was crazy. Now you got me thinking about basketball, but it's not time for basketball. It's not time for basketball
I was
now.
thinking about today. I was over at
Were
the
you
Civic
really?
Center. Yeah.
Oh, you were at the Civic Center, yeah.
When you're in the house that Ham made popular, once again, you think about it.
You do. You can't help it because annually you're in the Sweet 16 at the very least.
And you think about graduation.
That's true. And how boring it is.
Did you walk?
Yeah.
You did? Yeah, me too.
It's boring.
Were you a summer, sir? Well, summer or winter?
Summer.
Yeah, it was winter.
By the way, I've always thought, I've been to several others since then. I mean, I'm old. I've had nieces and nephews and people, and when you go, I always think they do a good job, but this sucks.
Yeah.
Like I never.
It's like one of those deals, even as a graduate, like I know I have to, and I will.
But
I wish I didn't have to, but I should,
yeah,
and I will.
Yeah, it's one of those things.
Yeah, I was TK's final ceremony.
I'm looking, by the way, at the, quote, first replay review of the year for defensive pass interference last night. No clear and obvious visual evidence to reverse the on-field ruling of DPI. Therefore, the call stands. And I worried at the time that they implemented this rule, and we talked about this, Tom, that this was going to be a disaster. But I am reminding everybody of this because in the preseason, this is where they overdo it intentionally. And they're telling you they're going to do that. Coaches are going to do it. Officials have got to figure out how efficient they can be in this process.
They did it with holding.
Yep.
They did it with defensive contact in terms of hitting a receiver. And now they're doing it with this particular call where they're going to emphasize some point of, point of emphasis. And then they're going to totally abandon it by week 6. That's how this works.
I'm letting you know that I have moved, and you do know this already because I've 5 times a year, 5 times in the first 3 weeks at least, I've moved ever closer to saying get rid of all of it. I mean, save for inbounds, out of bounds, fumble, no fumble. I'm pretty much, that's it. Field goal, good or not. I guess I'll throw that one in there too.
I think it's important that, especially in the college game, given the penalty for it, I think you got to review targeting. And I know they've redone it again, I think, this offseason. It's been so long. The funny thing is, like, the rules changes come out in February or March, and by the time the season comes around, you forget all the things that they've changed. But I think you've got to be able to take a look at targeting, given that it's an automatic ejection, or at least it was before this season.
I would get rid of targeting altogether.
I think it's targeting 1, targeting 2 this year. I think that's what they did.
Sweet Jesus. I'd get rid of targeting altogether and just enforce the spearing rule that's been on the books forever. You were never allowed to lead with the crown of your helmet. It was always a penalty. They just never enforced it. Just go back to enforcing the original rule. You don't have, you know what I think about targeting. There are so few occasions over the course of hundreds of games that we watch every year in which you can clearly find that a player was intentionally attempting to harm another player with by spearing or using the crown of their helmet. I mean, this isn't like when Bill Romanowski used to intentionally launch himself under the chin of quarterbacks trying to break their jaw or knock them out. And he did it. And he said he did it. And you used to watch it. You could see it. You're like, that son of a bitch is trying to break that guy's jaw. That always should have been a penalty. He always should have been thrown out or suspended. Because it's against the rules. It's always been against the rules.
So you've been doing sports talk radio for how long now?
20 years.
20 plus?
Yeah, 20 plus years.
Okay. So missed calls. They used to be a big topic on sports radio, right? Like,
yeah, I stopped doing that.
I can't believe he missed that call. I mean, not even just local games, but, National League Championship
Sure,
Series.
it still is. People I hate it. If I tune into another sports talk show, and I don't always do that because this is what we do for a living, and, but there are hosts who I like, and there are people, but I don't want to be influenced by them. That's kind of a problem too. But anyhow, you can accidentally steal somebody's take, not even realize you did it just because you were listening to him that morning. I don't want to do that, but it happens in this industry.
Carlos Mencia. I see
No, it happens in this industry all the time, and I get that. That's fine. But what I would say is that topic is boring. You can't go back and do this. I mean, there are times where it serves you as a host to do it, to talk about the implications of that call and how it affected the rest of the game. That's one way to talk about it that I think is okay. But by and large, trying to get rid of by and large, on the whole, it's a
Preparation H does feel good.
It's a boring topic. It's a boring topic.
Yeah.
Because you're just relitigating and pounding your fists and angry all over again. We already did that on Saturday. We already did it on Sunday. We already did it.
So the question I'm getting at is, has replay review gripes taken the place of it? Is it a net wash where we used to talk about missed calls in the way that we now talk about replay? Because I've only been on the air with you for the age of replay. I mean, other than that one ACC season where they're moving the football.
That was great.
It's really been about, replay review.
Moving the football.
The Nigel Bradham call, too, because there wasn't replay review for it at the time. But I feel like it's a huge chunk of a weekly discussion, not just on this show when we get into football season, but throughout all sports media. Because these calls, what you see on television is not what they call on the field. And you just don't know how that's possible.
Reviewing, it takes away from the momentum of the game, takes away from the fun. You can't even celebrate touchdowns anymore. You really, unless they're just so cut and dry, somebody's running wide open down the middle of the field, catches a pass, there's nobody on the screen, jogs through across the goal line, touchdown. You can celebrate that touchdown because there's nothing, barring a flag at the line of scrimmage, there's nothing to review, there's nothing that's going to come back. But anything close, any kind of moment in which obviously the intensity is ratcheted up and a player is diving and he gets across the line, you can't celebrate it because you're like, well, we're going to look at this 10 times. They're going to try to see if his knee was close to the ground, the ball juggle as it crossed the line. We're going to be here forever.
Well, first of all, they're short like 95% of the time on those plays.
Yeah.
Like if you see a guy lunge towards the end zone, you're like, he got in. He got in.
Yeah.
95% of the time, his knee is down, and there's at least 2 or 3
Well, but they
inches.
also never have the angle you need to see straight down the line. It's the Jameis Winston play against Oregon. It's never straight down the line. I know it still pisses you off.
He was in.
But anyhow, it's straight down we don't have the
Nick
straight
O'Leary
down the
got
line.
lassoed into the end, that hole.
I already understand. I know. But down the line, you never have that view. And that I do not understand. If you're going to have replay, every game has to have a camera down the line that we can see to review those plays. In, not in, ball across the plane, fumble, not fumble. You got to be able to see straight down the line.
Nice catch, Jalen. It's right in your hands. You tell us about everything else you do. Why don't you tell us about that play? What happened there? Jesus, it's right between your hands. He doesn't like the Rose Bowl. He has 2 terrible moments in the Rose Bowl.
Getting trucked, which actually was one of the great things that ever happened to us. We needed him to get trucked there.
We did.
Thankfully, he
wasn't trying to do that. He got owned on that play.
He was exhausted, too.
Yep.
That entire defense was.
From all that talking.
It's because Auburn ran a million plays.
Yeah. Boy, we did not know what hit us for much of that game.
For Jimbo to call those offenses Mickey Mouse, he sure didn't do much to stop it.
No.
But what I would tell you is again, there are very limited numbers of times anymore that I watch these games and I think, thank goodness we have replay. I don't. I just don't. It's
little did we know, because I know where I was when Calvin Johnson's catch Sunday afternoon in Chicago was it was ruled incomplete. I remember that station promo back in the day when I was a listener.
Do you
to
also
the show.
remember the Colts-Steelers playoff game where basically Palomalu or whatever rolled around 15 times before getting up, and they said he didn't possess the ball through the play. It was bizarre.
I don't remember that one as well as I do the Calvin Johnson. But little did I know at that time that was a precursor of like the norm. We thought that was freakish, and wow, the NFL got that one totally wrong. But little did we know that would be just the beginning. I mean, how many incidents where we are scratching our heads have happened since that point? Hundreds. It's got to be at least.
These were all, Tom, in an effort to clarify.
Yeah.
They were trying to make life easier on officials, that the speed of the game had gotten such that the level of athleticism had gotten to a place where they just couldn't keep up and they couldn't be expected to keep up. Well, first of all, stop hiring 65-year-old fat asses to run down there and try to watch guys that are flying running 4.3 40s. Get some people in shape in here. Have some rules. Secondly, I would tell you that it is good to aid the officials and to help clarify things that happen that quickly. But that's not what replay has done. It hasn't clarified things. It's made the waters murky. We watch these replays now, and given that the rules have become so convoluted, and there are so many if-thens and ors, and there's like addendum A, B, C, D to this rule. We've just muddied the waters. You don't know anymore. What's a catch? That's how many fans have you heard? What's a catch? Why is that not a catch? Why is that not a fumble? Why isn't that an act? Isn't that a football act? What? Think about the language of these things.
No, it's like a legal code, and you need somebody to help you translate, which is why these guys all get these jobs. And even though they have an interpretation, that's all it is. It's an interpretation. It's like going to an appellate court. Depends on the judge, right? I mean, that's what this all comes down to. It's not cut and dry with replay. But I remember when Dez up at Green Bay made a catch and they called it incomplete in the playoff game.
He's reaching for the goal.
And the NFL vowed to change the rule. But they added paragraphs to it. They added sentences to it. They didn't simplify it. They made it tougher for the referee to figure out. And I knew at that point, oh boy.
Didn't they say that was part of the football move? You made an act, a football act, an athletic act. You did something that
I forget what it was, but it got more complicated.
It's still stupid.
And then you had the ruling with I think it was Baltimore and the Steelers. That one came only a couple of years ago, and they changed the rule again about controlling the ball or if it touches the ground. I forget what it was. But there's been so many.
It's making my point, right? This is football. I would like to believe that level of hubris would be penalized. That at some point fans would say, all right, this is ridiculous. I don't know what's a catch. I don't know what the rules are anymore. I spend half my day watching a replay. There's very little substance to what I'm doing here. I'm just catching guys, reviewing plays every 5 minutes. This isn't good. I'm going to stop watching until they figure out that we don't need more of this.
And so you ask that to Roger Goodell, and he pauses and he stares at you, and then he points to his left, and you look over where he's pointing, and it's Scott Hansen. Welcome to NFL Red Zone.
Yeah. I like Red Zone fantasy football
where injuries and TV timeouts don't happen.
Yeah, but you lose all flow of games if you watch your football that way. You don't get a sense of why anybody wins or loses. You don't see who's dominating lines of scrimmage. You don't see areas of expertise, overwhelming areas of weakness. You don't see any of that. You just see touchdown, and let's go over here for another touchdown, and let's see this missed kick, and let's look at this hit, and we're back over here.
Little closer than no one with a knife.
Sorry, boys, I did not have time to pack.
We got this.
It's right here, guys.
We got this.
I thought I could handle it.
We got this.
Moving doesn't have to be a hassle. Call us first at 2 Men and a Truck. No matter the move, home or business, we'll make it a smooth one.
I forgot something.
We got this.
Nissan Town. Craft Nissan Town. Why? Because all of our new and used cars, trucks, and SUVs are on sale every day to save you thousands. And at Craft Nissan, all new vehicles come with factory rebates and special low interest rates. You get both. On top of that, Craft will give you actual cash back and $1,000 over Kelley Blue Book for your trade. At Craft Nissan, you get the best value for your hard-earned dollar with more standard safety features, our exclusive and the original free lifetime warranty, our Easy Choice menu that gives you a price and payment in writing, our New For You program that helps people with damaged credit. And listen to this, now through month end, Craft Nissan is including 4 years or 40,000 miles of free oil changes and tire rotations on all new Nissans. Bottom line, if you need a new or pre-owned car, you need to experience the Craft Nissan difference. Craft Nissan on Mahan Drive between Academy Sports and Costco. And remember, if you don't see the Craft tag on your car, you paid too much, way too much.
Who's ready for the best wings in Tally and locally brewed beers? Hobbit American Grill is the place to be. They've been voted Tally's best wings again in 2018. Hobbit offers Bingo Mondays, happy hour all day Fridays with craft beers on tap from all the local breweries. And the Hobbit is your home for all the UFC fights with plenty of high-def TVs for everyone. Be on the lookout for the food truck coming soon with the best lip-smacking wings in town. Hobbit American Grill, celebrating 40 years of serving great food to great friends for good times. For info on their hours and 3 locations, visit them online at myhobbitonline.com.
We all want more energy, more strength, more results. Well, welcome to Orange Theory Fitness as you take a step towards feeling more alive today. Backed by science, Orange Theory's heart rate monitored workout is scientifically designed to keep heart rates in a target zone, spiking metabolism and increasing energy. Orange Theory Fitness is a one-of-a-kind group personal training workout resulting in more energy, visible toning, and extra calorie burn for up to 36 hours. Experience a more vibrant life today with Orange Theory Fitness. To find out more, go to orangetheoryfitness.com.
Introducing Hardee's Charbroiled Double Deals for $2.49 each. Your choice of the double cheeseburger, the new bacon cheddar double, or backed by popular demand, the Hardee's Classic. They're double, the beef, triple, the options. You probably noticed the echo. It happens when we double, the beef, and triple, the options with our Charbroiled double deals for $2.49 each. It's kind of epic. Hardee's, because it tastes better.
Double the meat is compared to the small cheeseburger. Limited time only at participating restaurants. Price may vary. Tax not included.
Barry knows cool. He's keeping you comfortable. Barry knows cool. You can put him to the test.
You can't protect against everything life has in store, but you can sure try. When you turn to the experts at Carrier and Barano Heating and Air, we help you protect your investment with regular maintenance options that can keep your system safe. Receive same-day service when you sign up for the Total Comfort Service Program at baranoac.com. Florida license number CAC 1816186.
Driving every day from the Tallahassee Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram Fiat Studios. This is 97.9 ESPN Radio, WTSM, Woodville, Thomasville, Tallahassee.
ESPN Radio Sports Center.
I'm Doug Brown. 11 NFL games kicking off the first full week of the preseason tonight. One of them in Glendale, where the Cardinals host the Chargers. ESPN's Field Yates is looking forward to seeing Heisman Trophy winner Kyler Murray on the field for Arizona.
I think there's a chance that he could do things that shifts the way that we think about quarterback play, not just how we evaluate quarterbacks coming out of college, but maybe just how the NFL plays quarterback in general.
Field Yates on Golick and Wingo. 49ers defensive end Nick Bosa will miss the rest of the preseason with a significant right ankle sprain. He got hurt during Wednesday's practice when a teammate fell on his leg. Bosa was the second overall pick in the draft out of Ohio State. There were no spectators on the course when the first round of the PGA Tour playoffs started at Liberty National in New Jersey today. Damage from a Wednesday storm forced some repairs and cleanup. Fans weren't allowed in until 10 a.m. local time. Troy Merritt is the leader after a 9-under 62, one shot ahead of Dustin Johnson. Tiger Woods, battling a sore back this week, shoots a 4-over 75 today.
Great news. There's a quick way you could save money. Switch to Geico. Geico could help you get great coverage at a great price. And it only takes 15 minutes to see if you could save 15% or more on car insurance. Go to geico.com today and see how much you could save.
Broadcasting live from the Tallahassee Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram Fiat Studios in the capital city of Tallahassee. This is the Jeff Cameron Show, brought to you by Cornerstone Tool and Fastener on 97.9 ESPN Radio.
Jeff Cameron Show, 97.9 ESPN Radio. Hello. You can tell it's still, even though we got a ton of football tonight and the pads are on, get a big-time recruit saying yes to Florida State, vaulting us into the top 10. But you can still tell nationally we're kind of in the throes of the sorry part of August. Because I think every show spent an hour today, at least in the South, I don't know, I heard it nationally as well, talking about the fact that Kelly Bryant didn't get a ring from Dabo Swinney.
Well, that Sports Center there has Field Yates saying that Kyler Murray could change the way the quarterback position is played in the NFL, and that was a Sports Center quote. I mean, that tells you. And that's 90-second Sports Center, not a 2-minute jobber.
NFL Network last night had Kyler Murray throwing at Cardinals practice on for us to watch, him just throwing the ball against air for like an hour. I was like, what are we doing here?
Training camp live, man.
What are we doing here? This is ridiculous.
Doesn't it make you want to go to training camp?
No, not at all. It's awful. I was like, well, come on, guys.
So they were going to break last night. It's funny you say that. I was flipping. It was probably about 6:25, and they're going to break, and they had just concluded a segment from Tampa, which I hated I missed because Kurt Warner was there, and I find him to be quite insightful. And so they're previewing that they're going to go to Cowboys camp next, and they're showing Dak walk down the line, and he's doing like alternating, looks like tomahawk chops.
Nice.
But he's like stretching his arms out. And they leave it for 15, 20 seconds before they go to break, and he's just walking, pacing himself, and doing. I mean, the people on the video could see that's all he's doing.
They're starving.
They are.
They're starving anything that looks to be football related, any activity, anything. A guy putting on cleats. We get a minute of him putting on his cleats. People just want to see this guy putting on his cleats. He's gonna play some football. Yeah. Well, the Dabo Swinney thing gave way to like outrage and a chance for people to yell at each other. Two talking head boxes like they do for all the news stations. They just yell at each other. Nothing ever gets reported. They're just yelling at each other.
How about all the sports shows?
Well, of course, that's what that is. But anyhow, I didn't feel inspired enough to get angry about any of this. Would I give the kid a ring? Probably. He'd come across as petty otherwise. He did play a third of their games, right? Didn't he play 4 or 5 games? I think he did.
Yeah, but he was like yucking it up with people at North Carolina while Clemson was hosting
Syracuse. I mean, listen, there are always things behind the scenes that, would help inform that decision, I suppose. I mean, I get what he's saying. He's saying you got to be on the team in order to get a ring. He chose to transfer. I didn't make him transfer. He did so after being demoted. He didn't like it, couldn't handle it, decided to leave. Well, it's his right to leave. Have a good one. There's that angle. There's the angle of, hey, man, you probably don't beat Texas A&M if he doesn't play. Mm-hmm. You're probably not winning a national championship if that guy doesn't play.
They're probably still going to the playoff at that point.
May want to give him a ring.
I wouldn't, personally. He left. It's not enough that he that he quit on the team and he stayed at Clemson or whatever. He goes to other schools, openly courts other schools that fall? No way. No way. Can't have it.
I don't care one way or the other. I don't even think it's a real topic. I am weighing in on it because somebody asked me. But, I mean, I don't know their relationship. I don't know. He says he wishes him all the best at Missouri and all that. I don't know. If I liked the kid and I thought he really aided my program and served us well and was vital in some regards to some of the success we had in a national championship season, then I'd give him a ring. If I didn't and I was embittered because he turned his back on his teammates and our program merely for losing a job he wasn't good enough to keep, sorry, have a good day. I mean, I really would factor those things in. Every circumstance would be different.
It sounds like the latter to me. It was awkward when he was trying to make the decision public on the switch. Remember that?
Yeah.
I mean, you asked him about it a couple of years ago.
Yeah, I did. I'll say this. I'm not a big fan. Kids have every right. I've said this for years. I'm glad the NCAA did what they did. I think there are some unintended consequences that we're finding out about now, and so they're going to have to kind of tighten it up a little bit, I think. But coaches quit on kids all the time. They leave for other programs, greener pastures all the time, and they ask you to make a commitment to them, their program, their vision, and they can go make more money, leave, and you're in the lurch. It happened here to our kids last year, previous to last year, right? Happened at Oregon to those kids when Willie came here to replace the guy who left here for more money, right? So I feel like kids in those circumstances should be able to say, I'm out. I mean, you have such a finite time to play. The clock is ticking. Yeah, got it. But I also hate how many kids who lose their jobs or lose out in the competition have very little vision. It's usually this, it's not going my way, I'm out. I don't love that. It's their right to do it. I just don't love it.
No, you can't reward that. And you can't project that you reward that, too. It's important in terms of the culture of the program to say that we don't reward quitters. I think that's an important stance to take. Now, is it hypocritical inherently if he takes the Alabama job? Of course it is. But you've got some standards to set here. He left. He didn't help his fellow quarterback prepare for games. He probably could have given him some insights for the rest of the season and the college football playoff.
Yeah,
Turns out he didn't need them, but he could. I mean, Kelly Bryant could have helped in those circumstances.
Well, yeah, I'm not in love with the idea that you lose your starting job because somebody's better than you and you quit on your teammates and you quit on your university and you quit on your coach. I'm not in love with that. I don't think that's a good look.
Juxtaposed to Deshaun McGuire. That dude stuck around through a lot of nonsense. Everett Golson came in here, and Sean stuck around, and then when it was his time, he ended up being the better option because the team played harder for him.
It just reminded me of what a god-awful situation we've had at quarterback for a long time now.
It's been a minute.
I mean, damn it, man. Mm-hmm. We haven't had even an average quarterback since Jameis Winston left. It's just brutal.
Yeah.
No, we haven't.
I think a healthy McGuire is average.
Yeah.
He was.
Yeah.
Jimbo just thought he was going to make a splash with Golson, and that was a disaster.
I don't think he was average.
Everett, tell me about your thoughts on offense. And the answer Jimbo got was, oh, no, why did I do this?
Yes. But he did do it. And look at every quarterback we've had, and it's just not good. I hold Florida State's standard for quarterback play very high. You know this. All three of our Heisman winners.
James can be average to above average. You go back and forth on this one.
Here's what I think about James. I love him. I think he's an awesome leader for this team. I think he does and says all the right things, but I think that he's got a limited upside. Now, I think he can be decent to average? Yes. In this offense especially, I think he could probably do pretty well. If we can keep him upright, get the ball out of his hands pretty quickly. He's not accurate enough on the mid throws, if you would, the underneath.
Intermediate,
10 to 15 yard throws. He's weak. I hope he has a great year because I love his work ethic and I love that he's tried to get better, get bigger, do all the things you would ask of a leader. He has stuck it out, and he too has had to deal with a bunch of nonsense.
Yes, so he came close a couple times.
I never want when I talk about his limitations, I don't want it to come across as I just don't like him. No, I like him a lot. I just think Florida State, man, you're talking about Charlie Ward and Chris Winkie and obviously Jameis Winston. I mean, we go down the list. We've had a ton of really good quarterbacks. Peter Tom Willis, Danny Cannell, we go on and on and on. These were really good quarterbacks. So even the ones that didn't win Heismans were really, really good. Well, Chris Ricks wasn't, but you know what I mean.
His freshman year was.
Yeah. But we have, I mean, look, and this is one of the reasons we're even having this conversation. The reason we're even talking about Dabo Swinney right now is their level of quarterback play is so good.
Yeah.
It led to, obviously, a very experienced quarterback and Kelly Bryant saying, I got to go. This kid you just brought in is infinitely superior.
Right.
I'm not going to get this job back. I'm out.
Well, was Kelly going to get another job that fall? Like, could he have gone to Mizzou and played in November? No. That's just ridiculous. He took his ball. He went home. He doesn't deserve the ring. That's all.
Okay. I'm with you. I don't have a strong opinion on this. I don't always have to. I know you don't think so either. I mean, people were outraged by this today, one way or the other. I'm like, good God, man. I would need to know the inner workings and circumstances, what was said to him, how that went down. All of that before I made a really informed decision on where I stand on that. If that kid was a loyal soldier, worked hard, felt betrayed, was lied to in some way or something like that, I'd hope he'd get his ring. If not, if he's a quitter, a sour puss, Tom.
Well, if he was lied to, would you want it? Screw you, man.
I want my ring, man. I want my national championship ring. It's less about him. It'd be about me and my teammates. It'd be all the work that I'd put in leading up to that point.
All the reports say that it was obvious in practice that he was getting destroyed, and it
was obvious in the spring game. I mean, you had Trevor Lawrence is one of those guys, man. He's one of those guys. Unfortunately, Clemson has those guys.
What I'd argue is if you want your ring because of the work you put in with your teammates, that's the precise reason you stay at Clemson. is not for the coach, but for your teammates. If the ring matters to you, then certainly the bond amongst your teammates, offense, defense, all 85 of them, that's got to matter enough that you're going to stick around because there's nothing you can do. You can't. It's not like Major League Baseball. I can't go play for the Astros tomorrow if it's July 15th and I was playing for the Blue Jays the day before. It doesn't work like that.
Yeah, well, I think I tend to side with you. Surface level here, I tend to agree.
Just the funny thing is when it came across the news ticker yesterday, I thought, well, of course he didn't get one. Why would he? I didn't even know there was another side to the argument. I was like, well, of course not. I didn't get angry, but I was like, well, yeah. Who asked?
Oh, I wasn't surprised to see it either. I thought, okay, well, dude did jet. Don't know if he regrets it or not, but he did leave. Ended up leaving a team that went 15-0.
Yes, he did.
And trounced Alabama.
It'll be like Ace Ventura. There's like the 2 team photos. Well, actually, they did it here. Remember Dalvin?
That's right. They did. And we watched that whole thing. That was dumb. Yeah, I remember.
You probably do that before the media walks in. Just saying.
If you are, say, a sporting guy or gal, and you do as I do each week, you perhaps weigh in on how you think guys are going to look at a particular tour locale. I hope you didn't have Tiger Woods today. I'm worried, Tom. I'm getting close, man.
Boy, oh boy. You're done with him. You've written him off. He's never
sorry again today. But sorry.
What did you expect? He was hurting yesterday.
Just call it a day. Quit. What are we doing? You had weeks off. Why are you hurting?
He's old.
Man, he's not.
Been
He's
through some
43
things.
years old, man. You can't. Then don't be on the PGA Tour. This is pissing me off.
He won the Masters this year. He still got it in
He
there.
hasn't done a thing since, but looks shabby. He yanked this is the thing now. This is another reason I'm getting mad with
4
him.
months ago.
He yanked an iron, a wedge from 90 yards, dead ass left off into the. What are we doing here, man? He's falling back into that weirdness where you're like, he doesn't even look like he can play golf.
It may be. Then the spring rolls around and he'll be spry again.
I don't think so.
He's like the flower that blooms. He's the magnolias themselves.
He's the rose. No, what I would tell you is that I'm worried. This is worry coming out. I thought we had gotten him back. I thought he came back to all of us.
So that anger is actually worry because it sounds angry.
It's sadness. I think he's done. I want to be wrong, and I should be wrong, and maybe I am wrong. It feels like he's done.
If he came back from the last one, I'm not going to say he's done ever
I
again.
agree with that. This may be irrational. I'm admitting to that, but I'm hurt. Matthew's hurt worse than I am. He knows his hero's choking, looking terrible. He's a bum out there.
He says he's all right, that he won the Masters. It's like a Bucks fan. It's like, you can go for a while. Now, I'll bet if it's this time next year, he'll be hurt. But right now, he's still coasting.
He's worried, though. I can see it. He knows.
Victory parade.
He's getting worried. He's saying to himself, there's some merit in what Jeff's saying.
Well, but it's not like it's Jimmy Roberts and Arnold Palmer where you're like, ooh, wait a minute.
Oh, no, he's not going to die. I'm just...
He'll be around to put the jacket on the next guy next year, one way or another.
He's not going to die. I'm just saying, man, I'm watching him yanking 9 irons and wedges, like 50 yards left. He's rickety, barely able to get... It's hot out there where he is right now. It's not cold. I was told it was the weather. It's not the weather. Something's wrong. He's hurt again, man. Something's not right. I remember this. I remember we were watching him during the big comeback before the ultimate comeback, and he would gingerly reach down to pick up the... I'm like, man, you're not healthy.
Well, he looked like that at the Ryder Cup last year.
He looks like that now. We got problems.
He came back from the Ryder Cup.
I'm yelling SOS.
Do you think he plays the Masters next year?
At this rate, I don't know. You got to be able to hit a golf ball, man, and get around. I can't have you out here chipping one day, 90 degrees outside. Like, ooh, I don't know. I can't get through it.
Sorry, boys, I did not have time to pack.
We got this. It's right here, guys. We got this.
I thought I could handle it.
We got this.
Moving doesn't have to be a hassle. Call us first at 2 Men and a Truck. No matter the move, home or business, we'll make it a smooth one.
I forgot something.
We got this.
.79 ESPN Radio, Tallahassee Sports Monster.
For young people, education can be a guiding light. It provides a path to achieve their dreams. That's why the Florida Lottery proudly supports the Bright Futures Scholarship Program, helping over 800,000 students attend college. And we want to continue creating brighter tomorrows. If you're a current Bright Futures scholar or Florida educator, visit flalottery.com/brightfutures to let us know how we can help you shine even further.
Come visit the new and exciting Hangar 38. This amazing place is for everyone listening right now. Practice your bowling skills, compete, and have fun. Whether you're a newbie, an all-star, or a beer frame champion, no matter how you roll, you'll find the best place to bowl is at Hangar 38. Hangar 38 is home to over 75 arcade games, so they're sure to have something for everyone. Zeppelin's at Hangar 38 is a premier, full-service restaurant and sports bar, and it's also your place for birthday parties and company outings. Tallahassee, what are you waiting for? Come on out to Zeppelin's Hangar 38, 6668 Thomasville Road behind Walgreens.
You check things all the time, like your email every 10 seconds, or your ex's Instagram. But what about checking something as important as your credit? Well, Discover makes it quick, easy, and best of all, free. Discover is now offering FICO credit scores to everyone for free, even if you're not a customer. And checking your score won't hurt your credit. We call it the Discover Credit Scorecard. And once you know your score, you should check to see if your current credit card is the best fit for you. Check your credit, compare your card. Go to discover.com/credit scorecard. Limitations apply.
I give to you easy laundry service from my friends at Wash Around the Clock. Oh, buddy, this is a game changer. If you're like me, your life is hectic. Between work, school, your kids' sporting events and activities, well, it leaves you precious little time to kick back and take a load off. About the last thing you want to do is hours of laundry, but there it sits, staring at you, taunting. No more. That's right. More watching, less washing. Save hours of valuable time when you sign up not doing laundry with easy laundry service from Wash Around the Clock. Whether it's dry cleaning or just plain laundry, Wash Around the Clock's easy laundry service will pick up and deliver at your home or office. So sign up for free today at easylaundry.net, or you can give them a call, 850-597-9007. Again, sign up today at easylaundry.net. Oh, and by the way, I got you. Use promo code JCS20 and save 20%. That's promo code JCS20. You're saving 20% on your first order. That's easylaundry.net from Wash Around the Clock.
T-Spark Enterprises, roofing and construction services. T-Spark, TSparkConstruction.com.
Are you starting a new business or expanding your business? Looking for the right general contractor to assist you with the tenant space build-out? Look no further. From restaurant to retail, we have the experience to work with you. At T-Spark Enterprises, we are ready to be a part of your vision and build a space that exceeds your expectations. Whether you're looking for design build or build from your own design, give us a call today for a free consultation. As the owner of T-Spark Enterprises, I guarantee when it comes to your business space, we only provide picture-perfect results.
Call 850-766-1340. T-Spark Enterprises, roofing and construction services. T-Spark, TSparkConstruction.com.
License number CGC 1525336.
Tallahassee loves the corner pocket as much as a crystal ball winning catch.
He's looking, he lost it to the end zone. It's Benjamin! Touchdown! With 13 seconds left.
The 97.9 ESPN radio special is a must-have every Monday and Wednesday at the corner pocket. 10 mouth-watering wings, a fresh side of fries, and a chilled domestic pint of beer are just $9.79 all day long. Be sure and try the fish blend of sauces, a true wing eater's favorite. The Corner Pocket Bar and Grill.
He's gone!
Home of Trivia Tuesday, Beer Bingo Thursday, and the daily $7.99 lunch special.
This is the Jeff Cameron Show. Jeff Cameron Show on 97.9 ESPN Radio.
About instant replay and get ready for a large number of challenges in the interference rule and how it pisses me off and leads me closer ever more to a time where I'm about to say just give up on replay altogether. Something I didn't mention, and I should give credit to Tim Hyland, who wrote the article, spotting the ball in football is complete and utter guesswork. And I thought this first paragraph was perfect because every now and again, you do this. I do about once a year, maybe twice if it affects my team directly. I'm quoting from his article. If you spend any time watching football, you have most certainly heard the following phrase, perhaps the most infuriating in all of American sports. It's all going to depend on the spot. And if you're like most football observers, you've probably allowed that phrase to drift into and out of your football consciousness without a single thought. In fact, if you're like most football observers, I'm guessing you hear this phrase and you actually accept this phrase, and by extension accept the seemingly, but not actually, innocuous message that it sends. Specifically, that a play has just concluded, and that play may or may not have resulted in a first down, and whether or not it did indeed result in a first down is, well, gonna be up to the spot. And he's right. And he goes on and talks about how is it we've watched football and implemented millions of rules and a gazillion different, angles for replay, and we still rely on an old man racing over to kind of guess where he thinks that ball should be placed.
That's one of the beautiful remarks that Deckerhoff has in his broadcast, which is it a right foot spot or a left foot spot? And that sounds ridiculous, but that's how ridiculous spotting of football is.
And it is completely arbitrary. It does feel that, like, you're talking about an old man a good distance from the play going, looks about right here.
He's kind of hoofing it.
He's probably about right here.
He can't bend the knees up to waist level, so he's you can see him.
He's shimmying as fast as he can.
It's
he's
like
right about here.
If a penguin were to hop run, that's what it would look like.
And we always, how many times you watch a game and say, ooh, man, they got jobbed on that spot. And then you just move along. You don't even say anything else. You're just like, oh, sir, he marked that about 3 yards short. I might think about challenging that. I mean, they miss it sometimes by a good 2 yards.
Yes.
2 yards, Tom. That's a big damn deal.
I'd say that happens.
3rd and 3 is a lot different than 3rd and 1.
Probably twice a game? Every game?
And because it's always been that way.
For one team or the other.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
No, it's funny. I do it all the time. And he's right. We just kind of gotten so used to it. We just go, they missed the spot there. That's going to be tough. I guess it's going to be 3rd and 8. Felt like 3rd and 5.
That lingers more for me the older I get. I think about
because
it when we're punting. I'm like, could have done without 2nd and 8 when it was 2nd and 6.
Yeah. I agree. And I also think that in this age of technology, got to be a better way. Got to be a better way to get these spots. If the tennis replay is real, Tom.
In a world where shot spot technology
and the
Hawkeye tells you
there,
to a millimeter, because what about Wimbledon? How many times did it come down to like a nanometer, and yet they could account for it? Mm-hmm.
It is impressive. That thing is awesome. That may be the single coolest piece of technology in sport because I believe in it. I think it's real. I know you don't. You think they're just making it up. I think it's real, and when I watch it, I go, damn, that's awesome. They get it. They do the little rollover effect, so you're like, oh, it did catch a piece of the line. They got you. You're in.
They show how much the ball is an oval instead of a round spherical item.
It's really, really cool. When you watch it, you're like, oh, that's pretty awesome.
Jimmy, go with combination B74 X21.
I want just a tiny piece of the top of that to have touched the line there. Yeah. Let's really get them oohing and on this one.
Apparently, the truck sees that immediately, no matter what, and they dial up a replay of it if the chair umpire requests it, which means if the player says, that was in or that was out. So, like the TV truck has already seen and knows what's coming, but the fans don't.
I told you in junior tennis, when I played junior tennis, you call your own lines, especially if you're not,
I know this story.
Yeah, and you will run into, at junior tennis, you will run into kids that just blatantly cheat.
Buddy, I lost my club junior championship in golf twice because of blatant rules violations, as in out of bounds or in a water hazard, and the penalties that come from it.
And my man just dropped next to it and said, I found my ball. Right, just by the stake.
Well,
I'm not OB.
There was a guy who hit clearly probably 6 feet out of bounds, and he was hitting 2 instead of going back and re-teeing 3. And
That's a toughie, buddy.
And that one hurt more than the first one because I was 14 or 15 at the time. And the one I was about probably 10 or 11, and a kid's dad dropped for him when he went in the water, and he ended up making par in a hole, and there's no way, given that he had to drop. And he probably actually made like 7 or 8. I lost by 1 both those tournaments. So, yeah.
Shot spot technology. It's the coolest thing. I love it. I watch tennis sometimes.
Can't be duplicated. It's the only thing in the world.
They don't get it in the NFL. They don't have it in any other sport. They don't do it in the NBA. How many times have we watched these angles to see if a ball touched a player before it went out of bounds? You're like, it kind of looks like maybe for that angle, it deflected. I don't know. And yet in tennis, they hit the ball over 100 miles per hour. They're like, whoop, whoop, there it is. We got you. Everything's good. That's why you're not buying it.
And they actually have the answer, instantaneously.
Well, they spoil it for all the other sports.
Yeah.
I keep saying that. When I watch that, I go, how are they able to look at this replay? Ball's going 110 miles per hour. They know exactly where it hit or didn't, and we're back to playing tennis. Let's go.
But to reiterate and drive the point home, the TV truck knows immediately. So, like, that delay is merely because there's a challenge system, and I think they want to play it up a little bit for the fans so they can go, oh, and do the clap.
They do the clap.
Slow clap.
It also is only going to take 10 seconds.
Yeah.
It's fantastic. 10 seconds from the time the guy says, yo, challenging, to the time they review that, look at it, send it to you at home, we're back playing tennis.
Yeah. I mean, can't you imagine an NFL football field?
I can dare to dream, Tom.
And it shows an X on the thing, and it's brought to you by the giant pizza chain.
Oh, he's down there at the 23.
It's a $1 billion deal.
Got to the 24. There it is. Shot spot technology tells us he was down at the 23. Okay. Why isn't that a thing? Seriously, why isn't that a thing? Jimbo can yell about lasers all he wants. I want that.
The sideline watcher, brought to you by Microsoft.
I want that. I do. You know, something else that I find interesting as football gets set to get started, we always look at the new rules. We look at everything. And this is the time of the year where you also begin to see players get suspended for substance abuse violations or using something in the category of enhancement. And a lot of times you find out that these players, anyhow, continue to claim that they were taking not performance-enhancing drugs, but rather a formula that they got at the local health food store or whatever it might be, and that this substance was in it. Of course, the league's answer is always, I don't care. You can run this past your team trainer and team doctor. The forbidden list is everybody's got it. It's up to you what you're putting in your body. I would say, however, if the substance is not listed on the damn thing, I feel bad for players. This is happening a lot. I've changed my stance on this. I used to think that they were always lying. I believed every player that ever said they didn't knowingly take a performance-enhancing drug was a liar, that was impossible.
Yeah,
I used to believe that. I don't believe that anymore. I think that some of these guys, because it was another one recently, Robert Quinn, he's been suspended 2 games for violating the NFL's performance-enhancing drugs policy, that according to the league today. And basically, they're claiming he had a seizure medication that triggered the positive test. Well, things like this, things where a medical supplement or something that a person had to take for another condition.
Yeah, that's a prescription.
That's actually led to positive tests before. I didn't think it was true. I used to say, oh, please, stop it. But it happens more and more. And these guys, I will say this. You remember we used to talk about the JCSPR firm. If you're innocent and you didn't do it, scream it from the mountaintops. Like, get out in front of me. Hey, no, this didn't happen. That's not true. I never took this. And if I did, it's because of this. You can do it. There's a right way to do it. That's what they're doing here. That has been proven to be true before.
Was that appealed down to 2 games? It had to have been appealed, and then that's the ruling, right? Because typically a PED suspension is 4 or 6, depending upon what you do, and he got 2, I think it is.
Yeah, his agent released a statement today on the suspension saying that the seizure medication triggered the positive test. He has a medical history with seizures that require him to take multiple doses of preventive medication daily in order to regulate them. He was tested on April the 2nd under the NFL steroid policy. He failed the test for a substance called probenecid, which is classified as a masking agent. And that's where these guys get in trouble a lot, is that the masking agent is what they get caught with. It's not the actual steroid, but these are alarms. If this is in your system, you're trying to hide something. So he has a fractured left hand. He was already questionable. He's a 2-time Pro Bowler. We know all of that. It does not say whether or not this was
I believe the standard
pled down.
Is 4 weeks, though, because I think he got 2 games, if I read Schefter's tweet earlier correctly. So they might have taken that into consideration and said, all right, well, that seems worthy enough, but we're going to still make it 2 instead of 4.
I would think a doctor could confirm or deny this. I would think this is pretty simple. If the doctor
probably
prescribes this for him, Robert Quinn, and that substance that I just alluded to, which is used as a masking agent, is in his seizure medication, this could be simplified. This could be very easy.
Well,
yes, it's in there. Not his fault. He's got to take it or he's going to die. League says, oops, sorry, okay, you're good to go. We're done here.
Well,
have a heart.
If the standard's 4, and maybe they're arguing that the evidence doesn't show that, but it's murky.
It's very murky because they did, if what you're saying is true, they realized that maybe there is a reason for the positive test that doesn't involve masking, and therefore they go from 4 to 2. Well, wait a minute. If we're going to say that there is reasonable evidence to suggest that he didn't do this intentionally, he's not using it as a masking agent, it's just a byproduct of using something to prevent seizures, he shouldn't be suspended at all. At all. Not one game, not 1 minute of any game. The guy's going to die if he doesn't take the medication. What are we doing? He's got to take it.
If his team is, in fact, telling the truth, yes.
Well, this would be easily solvable. I mean, I understand that medical records are protected. So, but I'm saying
he may not want to release them. He might say, "That's my right. I'm not supposed to release my medical records. That's my private business. You want to go looking through my medical records?"
Well, then you're suspended, man. Because
I'm
trying
that's
to help
probably
you out.
where it went. If the baseline's 4, is what I'm saying.
Well, then it should stay 4. I mean, it's one or the other. It's 4, and we don't believe you. We don't believe you, and unless you're willing to let us check into this to see if that's a valid argument, then we're done.
It occurs to me we've had 2 segments this hour asking the NFL to be reasonable and logical. I don't know.
This is cut and dry, man. Either you're on this medication and it has this probenecid or whatever it's called in it, and you take that medication to avoid having seizures that threaten your life, or you're full of it. What do we got here? Let's go. This is not hard.
But Tyreek Hill can play, though, so it is cut and dry.
Yeah, it's crazy. That part of whoo. It was funny to watch the reaction of Tyreek Hill coming up a little lame one day in practice and how the internet went nuts. How quickly people went, good. For all the people that get mad at me when I say there are rare occasions where I root for individuals to get hurt, like I did with Adrian Peterson after he beat his child with a switch on his privates. I root for him to get hurt all the time. I do. And people are like, oh, that's terrible. You can't say that. Oh, why would you root? I would never. Yeah, you would. Horrible people. You want horrible things to happen to horrible people. Sure you do. And then as soon as Tyreek Hill was limping around, thousands of people, yes, karma. I'm like, there it is. There it is, all you liars.
Sorry, boys, I did not have time to pack.
We got this.
It's right here, guys.
We got this.
I thought I could handle it.
We got this.
Moving doesn't have to be a hassle. Call us first at 2 Men and a Truck. No matter the move, home or business, we'll make it a smooth one.
I forgot something.
We got this.
Out ahead of Dustin Johnson, Tiger Woods battling a sore back this week, shoots a 4 over 75 today.
Great news. There's a quick way you could save money. Switch to Geico. Geico could help you get great coverage at a great price. And it only takes 15 minutes to see if you could save 15% or more on car insurance. Go to geico.com today and see how much you could save.
Games for Less, the only locally owned and operated gaming store in town, has Tallahassee's largest selection of new and used video games and game systems. The future of video gaming is at Games for Less, where they have both the PS4 and Xbox One. It's time to trade in your old systems and elevate your gaming experience now. Games for Less is also your headquarters for the best in retro gaming. Atari 2600, original Nintendo, Super NES, or Sega Genesis, you name it. They got it at Games for Less. Games for Less, the Super Walmart Shopping Center on Appalachia Parkway. Give them a call today at 850-219-3535. That's Games for Less.
Who's ready for the best wings in Tally and locally brewed beers? Hobbit American Grill is the place to be. They've been voted Tally's best wings again in 2018. Hobbit offers Bingo Mondays, happy hour all day Fridays with craft beers on tap from all the local breweries. And the Hobbit is your home for all the UFC fights with plenty of high-def TVs for everyone. Be on the lookout for the food truck coming soon with the best lip-smacking wings in town. Hobbit American Grill, celebrating 40 years of serving great food to great friends for good times. For info on their hours and 3 locations, visit them online at myhobbitonline.com.
Tallahassee Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram is the Jeep headquarters of America. We've purchased over 100 Jeep Renegades, and they've all arrived and are on the lot for immediate delivery. 2018 Jeep Renegade Latitude with MSRP starting at $25,120, on sale now for $18,870. That's a savings of $6,250. A new Jeep starting at only $18,870. Those prices are unheard of and can only be found at your Jeep headquarters of America, Tallahassee Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram. No other dealer can offer you this kind of savings. We buy in mass quantities and pass along the savings to you. 2018 Jeep Renegade Latitude, starting at $18,870. Payments as low as $299 a month. On the corner of West Tennessee and Capitol Circle, where we're right on the corner and always right on the price. Check us out on the web at TallahasseeDCJ.com. All prices include rebates and incentives plus tax, title, and dealer fee. State number 18J605. Must finance through Chrysler Capital and qualify for all rebates and incentives.
Seminoles, it's 2019 and a new football season is amongst us. It's a new day, and we have an opportunity to build this program back to where it belongs, together. Every day we get one step faster, one rep stronger. The journey to the top includes you. We are one tribe together, and we remain unconquered. We need you in Doak Campbell Stadium this fall, and that begins by getting season tickets now. Visit us online at Seminoles.com or call 1-888-FSU-NOLE and get ready to hear
Touchdown, Florida State!
Very soon.
Powerball is throwing the ultimate party, and one lucky winner is going to win $1 million. Introducing Powerball's New Year's Rockin' Eve VIP experience. You and a guest could take the trip of a lifetime to New York City, packed with exclusive access to the biggest events in town. Plus, you'll receive an entry for a chance to become the first Powerball millionaire of 2020. Announced live on Dick Clark's New Year's Rockin' Eve. Play Powerball today. Learn more and enter to win at FLALottery.com/NYRE. The Florida Lottery. It's your ticket.
Claim it!
Must be 18 or older to play. Play responsibly.
Man, it's definitely summer. And with the heat wave, it's hard to keep my cooling costs down.
Have you checked out the many products and services the City of Tallahassee Utilities offers to help you save energy, water, and money?
What kind of products and services?
Well, the city offers ceiling insulation grants, energy efficiency loans, free energy audits, budget billing, and energy retrofit grants, which can help enhance energy efficiency and lower your bill. And the Weather Relief Assistance Program, or WRAP, is also available right now, which also offers a one-time payment option that lets you defer a portion of your bill until October.
Wow, I had no idea. Where can I find out more?
Simple. Visit talgov.com/YOU.
The City of Tallahassee Utilities connects you to more than electricity. With a variety of options to choose from, you can find products and services that help you save energy, water, and money. More options, more products, more savings. Visit TALGov.com/YOU or call 891-4968 to learn more.
Thursdays are Friday Eve, and that's a reason to celebrate. No matter what you're looking for, they've got you covered every Thursday down in College Town. Centrale offers 50% off select pizzas all day, every Thursday. Or you can stop by Township for Taco Thursday. $2 house tacos, $2. Madison Social offers the Social Agreement. You and a buddy can split 1 Aurora wings, 2 Madso burgers, 2 bourbons, 2 proof Madison Socials, all for just $40. See what they did there? And don't worry about parking. Plenty of spaces available in the parking deck or surrounding lots. Check out all the Thursday College Town deals right now on ThursdaysInCollegetown.com.
Broadcasting live from the Tallahassee Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, Ram, Fiat studios in the capital city of Tallahassee. This is the Jeff Cameron Show, brought to you by Cornerstone Tool and Fastener on 97.9 ESPN Radio.
Of the preseason games tonight, of which there is a bounty. Woohoo! We are inundated with a ton of football tonight, and that is a good thing, even if it is the preseason variety. What's the one you're most looking forward to? I would imagine Falcons-Dolphins for this region would be a very popular selection. That's not my selection, obviously, but I would say that there is a game that I actually am intrigued by. And on the, I think it's San Francisco is. Are they gonna? No, we get no starters tonight. Will you get?
I don't know. The only game I really know about in terms of what their plan is Tampa, because I watched Arians last night, and I think he said 80-20 young guys were gonna play.
Yeah, I mean, none of these are worth watching if you're not getting a look at any of the starters. I shouldn't say not worth, but Dallas and San Francisco is the one I was going to say that I do want to watch.
Arizona and
that's actually not tonight.
And the LA Chargers is going to be a big one because tomorrow you're going to see highlights of Kyler Murray one way or the other.
So, you just heard Field Yates there in the Sports Center talking about that very thing. I think anytime we get a chance to watch young quarterbacks or quarterbacks that we're intrigued by, that's why I chose San Francisco. I'd like to see Garoppolo play quarterback at some point. But that said, there you go. That's the one we're most intrigued by. And I don't know that preseason will really give us as much as we need because, remember, this is all bland. All these quarterbacks are going against cover 2 base. There's no real – you're not going to get any kind of any kind of unique schemes that are set for that player.
What I like, honestly, out of the preseason is to go to NFL.com the next day, and this is not a paid advertisement, it's just the truth. What they'll do with the rookies is they'll mash up every touch or every play they were involved in. If they were a quarterback, I think it's every play. But if it's a rookie running back that you really like, or receiver, it's every touch that they got. And I do like watching those mashups because you get to see how they react to the speed. It may not be against the scheme that they're going to see.
Yeah, it's definitely not against the scheme they're going to see
on a Sunday, but you get to see him run with, the big boys. You get to see him run with another starter opposite them.
I don't think that it was hyperbole for Field Yates to say that on SportsCenter about him potentially revolutionizing the position. I think potentially that's true. If that guy at that size is utilized in the way that we think would make sense for the pick, like you wouldn't make that pick if you were going to use him in any traditional fashion. There's no reason to think that as a traditional quarterback, he has any chance to succeed. Nobody that size ever has, ever. So you wouldn't have made the pick if you were going to use him that way. They're not. Hence the reason they hired the head coach that they did. If this works, because the rules changes are what they are, and more we've seen some of these principles used in the NFL to success, see the Chiefs and the Eagles and others, and they utilize him that way, that'll be fascinating. It will be fascinating. I don't know that you can. I don't know if he's a good enough passer. We'll see. I mean, I guess, but
he's going to have to be in order for it to work. He's going to have come a long way.
Well, that's why we don't like Lamar Jackson's chances.
Yeah. That's my thing, is like revolutionize the position or revolutionize how much money you can make. Because in a way, Lamar Jackson has already done that to a degree, being drafted 32nd overall the year prior and getting a first-round paycheck. Like Russell Wilson got a third-round paycheck. If Russell Wilson came out next year, that exact skill set, he'd go number 1 overall. Or, well, probably not this quarterback class. He'd at least be in discussions with Tua and Herbert for number 1 overall. Not a third-round pick that you would take a chance on.
I couldn't believe that happened. We were right to first guess that one all those years ago. That one I'm proud of.
Yeah, me too. I just.
But you know why?
Let's just say
why? Because he could pass the football.
Right.
And in addition to, he had all that other stuff. But
everybody looked at height. They looked at how diminutive he was.
That's correct. But they didn't look at how well he threw the ball from the pocket. And it wasn't like Wisconsin or NC State, the two places he played, were running gimmicky offenses.
Well, those are two big enough schools. That's the hard part for me to imagine. Like, if it was the 2019 draft, the one in which Kyler Murray went number 1 overall, and Russell Wilson was coming out of college, he'd go number 1. He'd go ahead of Murray. I don't have any question in my mind about that because people are already open to taking quarterbacks at this point that are 6 feet tall or 5'11".
That is correct.
And he would throw off the charts. He did throw off the charts.
Murray is deemed as a byproduct of that system and Big 12 defenses. So that system has obviously en masse now. I mean, every year they win the Heisman at the position. It's churning out guys who are not traditional, if you will, because they put up eye-popping numbers. Most would look at that and say, I'm not real sure that translates. You're not going to have guys running wide the hell open every down in the NFL like you do in the Big 12. That said, though, Baker was drafted, and we thought that was risky to some degree. A little less so. I thought Baker could play because of his accuracy.
Yeah, that's true. He was much more accurate than some of the other guys we talked about that were of the same size.
Well, we saw him make throws into windows.
Yeah.
I'm not saying you haven't seen that from Kyler Murray. He just hasn't had to do it as often as he will in the league.
Like, I feel more that if Johnny Manziel, for example, had succeeded, and the off-the-field stuff wasn't there, but he had succeeded with that skill set. I'm talking about that lack of a 40 time, that lack of height. And he succeeded.
Not a great arm.
He would have revolutionized the position because you say, wow, so it's possible with that guy?
Well,
I guess I have to take
with
that guy at top 10.
I guess. I mean, if he had,
But for Kyler, you won't get that answer for at least 2 or 3 years.
For Kyler Murray, he's got to run around. He's going to have to be able to kill you with his legs.
Yeah.
Just like Lamar has to be able to kill you with his legs. And the league has always weeded those guys out by beating the hell out of them.
Which is why I'm saying it's a multi-year process before we crown that it's revolutionized the game. Haven't we learned our lesson from Kaepernick and RG3?
Sure, and the thing with Kyler Murray is that he's tiny, legitimately tiny.
Yes.
So I don't think it's going to work. I think it's a crazy pick. If it works, the league has changed completely. That's why.
Yes, I agree with you 100%. I'm just saying we can't say that until like 2022, 2021.
I'm telling you right now, Lamar Jackson ain't going to make it. I told you that last year. I'm telling you right now, I don't have to wait for nothing. It's not going to work.
People fell for that a little bit, though. People are still kind of falling for it.
They still fall for that stupid. I've got to be careful. I think Le Batard mentioned it the other day, and I was cracking up because I was driving in. I'm like, that's right. Thank you, somebody. He went a playoff game without completing a pass for 2 hours.
Right, yeah. And he fumbled the ball more than he completed a pass by a lot.
Then there were some flukish plays in the fourth quarter, and he leads a comeback because he's running around, not in the way you're going to be able to do over a 16-game season.
He pulled a Manziel.
Yeah.
He pulled a Manziel in the playoffs somehow.
He just ran around, threw up that one that changed the whole game.
Once upon a time, Tebow ran around, made some plays in the NFL, won a playoff game.
It's just not sustainable.
Yeah.
That's what we say. You got to be able to throw the ball accurately.
Oh.
You got to.
Listen, if Tebow was still around as the second or third string quarterback and the guys get hurt in front of him and it's like an odd week and he's the quarterback for a week, you go,
for 1 week you don't
here
want to
we
face that.
friggin'
Right,
go.
because then you unleash the hounds. You let him run.
Right.
Because you're not counting on him for 16 games. You're not making him throw from the pocket for 16 games. It's one game. Do whatever you're going to do. I agree with that. But when you hang your hat on these guys to be the franchise quarterback,
you know what? Flacco's healthy. We don't need him. We don't need him. We've got Lamar. I think we stand a better chance.
I think they were right about they don't need Flacco. It's just that they were wrong about going to Lamar as the guy that they need. Now they got to restructure their entire offense for a guy that's not going to make it.
But when you're playing the team that they played in the postseason and you need to get the ball down the field and accurately, Joe was probably the guy
the
for
better
that
option.
matchup.
Yeah, Joe was yeah. No, I know. Lamar looked terrible in that game. We were like, well, there it is. That's the end of that. They're making him throw the ball from the pocket, and he can't. He couldn't in college.
Because they got to see him a second time, too. That was
They were the first
thing.
one to adjust, and they went, okay, well, we see the deal here. And the league does that every time we see these guys. RG3 had a great first season.
Right.
In Washington, he had a great first season. Then he got blown up. He
was hurt in that game anyway in the postseason. That was the one they lost to Seattle. That is the famous finish. That's because Kirk Cousins came in that game in relief.
That's right.
Because of the knee injury.
Oh.
And then he got hurt in the Falcons game too. Yeah. That was the one that ended it. That ended the dream right there. That was oh my God. That was a pop and a half.
All these guys get blown up, man. It's unbelievable. If you're gonna run around and have success, the way to maximize that skill set is to be able to make throws from the pocket and then utilize it when things break down. And you got a unique skill set.
Russell's perfect at it.
Well, he's incredible.
And that offensive line's been pretty bad the last 3 or 4 years.
Yeah. But you can't base Well, you haven't been in the past. That's what we're talking about with this Kyler Murray stuff. You haven't been able to, in the past, base your offense around your quarterback's mobility being the key to your success.
Mm-hmm.
But they are going to have to, I mean.
Well, it seems like what the Ravens are trying to do is they're trying to build a stable of 2 or 3 tailbacks that are really tough, and they're going to run the ball 30 times a game and then work him in on play action. I don't think it's going to work.
Well, because you have to throw it accurately off of play action. You got to hit people in stride.
Maybe not. I mean, maybe they're thinking it's going to be like Georgia Tech, and they're just going to lull your ass to sleep, and then the one time they can pop it.
Can you imagine being in those meetings? Well, listen, we don't have a guy we can trust, but let's go ahead and make him our franchise quarterback and just hope we have a huge staple of running backs that we can hand the ball to, and every once in a while ask our quarterback to do something on offense. What the hell kind of game plan is that?
I think it's pragmatic.
Well,
we know we don't have a guy. We're not going to have a guy, so let's try and do something about it.
Yeah, like draft a real quarterback so that we don't have to do this.
But a real quarterback doesn't come along, but how often?
Well, no, I mean, they come out every year. There are plenty of guys that play the position the way the position has succeeded in the league.
More McCowns than Mannings.
But we don't know. Right. I'm not saying that you're going to get it right, but you could draft one that actually has a chance. This guy's – I mean, draft a quarterback that was accurate in college even. He wasn't even accurate in college.
That's correct. I agree. I'm
saying
that was not a Harbaugh pick at 32. There's no way that was.
That's why you don't make that pick. Yeah. Look, I don't have anything against that kid. If he makes it, great. I don't care. He's just not going to.
If I'm a Harbaugh, I say, all right, we're going to run the ball 40 times a game, every game. And if he, like Drago.
Why are we doing that? Because our quarterback sucks.
If he dies, he dies. That's what we're going to do.
Yeah.
Because then it'll be easier for me to go in the offseason and worry about a new guy.
So you'd run him 40 times?
I'd run them all. I'd just run them all.
I'd run him.
It would be,
I'd say the only way he'd run the ball 20 times a game because he's better in the open field than almost anybody we've ever seen. Remember him in college? We all remember him very well. Certainly, we saw enough of him. That dude did things that very few people have ever done at that position. And so if I can't use that, what is my team for?
Well, the problem
even here,
and it brings obvious problems to the forefront, which is, well, if you're losing, then you might just have to mail it in for that week. We'll get him next week because I'm not going to throw and put this guy in the pocket with a chance to get hurt.
Yeah, I'm running his ass. I'm telling him, look, you know what? You're here. I wouldn't say this, but I'd be thinking I didn't want your ass, but we drafted you because we thought it would help ticket sales. And the one thing you do really well, by way of comparison to other quarterbacks in this league, is run around and make people look foolish. So we're going to do just that.
Compared to any position. I mean, it's stupid what he does.
Yeah, but if I can't use that, then there's no reason for him to be here. None. Mm-hmm. It's certainly not for his accuracy. It's not for his prowess as a passer. It never has been.
Yeah, my top 2 tailbacks get 15 to 20 carries a game, and he gets 12 to 15.
Easy.
Right.
Maybe more. Run the damn option with him.
We need a really good tight end, right?
and then
we're goal line the whole game. We're the boring Madden opponents.
Yeah, you need the guy like Gronk was for the entirety of his career, just blowing people up.
Little Kelsey.
I mean, just throwing guys around. But what I'm I hope people saw that. What I'm doing is I'm running that guy that my franchise drafted against my will. And then when he gets hurt, I go, well, what a shame. Got hurt. Now go get a quarterback, please.
Makes it easier on me.
Much easier. But I'm not running him 10 to 12. He's running 26 times.
The last 2 weeks.
Hey.
Well, good 2-0 start to the season.
Suck it up, Buttercup. 26 carries for you this Sunday against the Chiefs. Let's go.
Sorry, boys, I did not have time to pack.
We got this. It's right here, guys. We got this.
I thought I could handle it.
We got this.
Moving doesn't have to be a hassle. Call us first at 2 Men and a Truck. No matter the move, home or business, we'll make it a smooth one.
I forgot something.
We got this.
We all want more more energy, more strength, more results? Well, welcome to Orange Theory Fitness as you take a step towards feeling more alive today. Backed by science, Orange Theory's heart rate monitored workout is scientifically designed to keep heart rates in a target zone, spiking metabolism and increasing energy. Orange Theory Fitness is a one-of-a-kind group personal training workout resulting in more energy, visible toning, and extra calorie burn for up to 36 hours. Experience a more vibrant life today with Orange Theory Fitness. To find out more, go to orangetheoryfitness.com. I give to you easy laundry service from my friends at Wash Around the Clock. Oh, buddy, this is a game changer. If you're like me, your life is hectic. Between work, school, your kids' sporting events and activities, well, it leaves you precious little time to kick back and take a load off. About the last thing you want to do is hours of laundry, but there it sits, staring at you, taunting. No more. That's right. More watching, less washing. Save hours of valuable time when you sign up not doing laundry with easy laundry service from Wash Around the Clock. Whether it's dry cleaning or just plain laundry, Wash Around the Clock's easy laundry service will pick up and deliver at your home or office. So sign up for free today at easylaundry.net, or you can give them a call, 850-597-9007. Again, sign up today at easylaundry.net. Oh, and by the way, I got you. Use promo code JCS20 and save 20%. That's promo code JCS20. You're saving 20% on your first order. That's easylaundry.net from Wash Around the Clock.
Hi, this is Peter Bond, owner of Jerry's Cigar Shop. Jerry's has been a local favorite for cigar enthusiasts for the last 25 years. We have the largest walk-in humidors in town, filled to the brim with an amazing cigar selection. Relax in one of our leather chairs and enjoy an ice-cold beer or a glass of wine with your cigar. Jerry's is a great place to watch sports on our big flat-screen TVs and offers a comfortable setting for lively conversation. Visit our original store on Scherer Road or our new second location on Cary Forest Parkway. We hope to see you soon.
Introducing Hardee's Charbroiled Double Deals for $2.49 each. Your choice of the double cheeseburger, the new bacon cheddar double, or backed by popular demand, the Hardee's Classic. They're double, the beef, triple, the options. You probably noticed the echo. It happens when we double, beef, and triple the options with our Charbroiled double deals for $2.49 each. It's kind of epic. Hardee's, because it tastes better.
Double the meat is compared to the small cheeseburger. Limited time only at participating restaurants. Price may vary. Tax not included.
Did you know you can get Hulu for only $5.99 a month? That's all the Veronica Mars, Handmaid's Tale, Brooklyn Nine-Nine, Family Guy, and This Is Us that you can watch. Plus thousands of other shows and movies. Like that one show you quote all the time. And that other show you've been meaning to watch. And that show you don't tell anyone you watch. Don't worry, we don't judge. We might be crazy to give you all that TV for so little, but we love TV. And we want to make it easy for you to watch more of it. So if you love TV like we love TV, go to Hulu.com and start your free trial.
Come visit the new and exciting Hangar 38. This amazing place is for everyone listening right now. Practice your bowling skills, compete, and have fun. Whether you're a newbie, an all-star, or a beer frame champion, no matter how you roll, you'll find the best place to bowl is at Hangar 38. Hangar 38 is home to over 75 arcade games, so they're sure to have something for everyone. Zeppelin's at Hangar 38 is a premier full-service restaurant and sports bar, and it's also your place for birthday parties and company outings. Tallahassee, what are you waiting for? Come on out to Zeppelin's Hangar 38, 6668 Thomasville Road behind Walgreens.
Driving every day from the Tallahassee Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram Fiat Studios. This is 97.9 ESPN Radio, WTSM, Woodville, Thomasville, Tallahassee.
ESPN Radio Sports Center.
I'm Doug Brown. 11 NFL games kicking off the first full week of the preseason tonight. One of them in Glendale, where the Cardinals host the Chargers. ESPN's Field Yates is looking forward to seeing Heisman Trophy winner Kyler Murray on the field for Arizona.
I think there's a chance that he could do things that shifts the way that we think about quarterback play, not just how we evaluate quarterbacks coming out of college, but maybe just how the NFL plays quarterback in general.
Field Yates on Golick and Wingo. 49ers defensive end Nick Bosa will miss the rest of the preseason with a significant right ankle sprain. He got hurt during Wednesday's practice when a teammate fell on his leg. Bosa was the second overall pick in the draft out of Ohio State. There were no spectators on the course when the first round of the PGA Tour playoffs started at Liberty National in New Jersey today. Damage from a Wednesday storm forced some repairs and cleanup. Fans weren't allowed in until 10 a.m. local time. Troy Merritt is the leader after a 9-under 62, one shot ahead of Dustin Johnson. Tiger Woods battling a sore back this week, shoots a 4 over 75 today.
Great news. There's a quick way you could save money. Switch to Geico. Geico could help you get great coverage at a great price. And it only takes 15 minutes to see if you could save 15% or more on car insurance. Go to geico.com today and see how much you could save.
Broadcasting live from the Tallahassee Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram Fiat Studios in the capital city of Tallahassee. This is the Jeff Cameron Show, brought to you by Cornerstone Tool and Fastener on 97.9 ESPN Radio.
Final hour of the Jeff Cameron Show, at least for today. Thanks for tuning to it. Hope you're well. Appreciate you listening. I'm Jeff. That's Tom. We're online, ESPNTallahassee.com. That's where you go to listen live via the streaming free. Always. Don't miss anything. Sometimes you do. And when that happens, you go get caught up on iTunes and or utilizing our website, the archived audio. Be sure to rate, review, share, comment, all that good stuff on iTunes. By the way, you can email us, jcs at 979espnradio.com. Find me on Twitter, at JCameronShow. WTSM app, good for your mobile devices. Hello, YouTubers and Periscopers. I hope you guys are all doing well. Hey, every day there's another reason to get excited, and we got a 4-star running back, another one, that committed while we were away, Tom. We talked about it earlier in the show, but just as those folks getting out of work, hopping their car, I'm sure knew that was coming. Obviously you want high-level recruits, blue-chip recruits to commit to Florida State. But one thing I will say is when I look at him, I mean, obviously you can see the speed and all that, but when I look at him, I go, it could be a while for him. Unless he goes through a body transformation this year, he's gonna have to get a lot bigger, man.
Well, the way these off-season conditioning goes, if this kid comes in as an early enrollee, maybe he could be a factor a little bit earlier in his career. Yeah. We've done some serious work with position players, guys in the trenches to gain weight, lose weight, put on muscle, drop something off in terms of muscle mass. Maybe if he gets in early, I don't know the scouting report on whether or not his grades are going to be wrapped up by December. But at any rate, he did it last night. He made his announcement on Bay News 9 back home in Tampa. He did it on their little sports TV show there.
Well, he's Pinellas Park. We used to play them, by the way, when I was at Lakewood, and I saw that, and I was like, we had another Largo kid recently, and I'm like, look at this. All my guys from the stomping grounds. I hated those schools, but come on down.
Come on down
up,
here.
I should say.
You reset it. It's like the pros with the Bucks. I didn't appreciate you for 4 years at Miami or Florida or Clemson.
But if you can play and you can help us.
You can help us.
Let's go. That moved the class, if you will. If you're going to look at the composite rankings and all that good stuff, Florida State now finds themselves in the top 10. And in doing so, they end up passing, and this is what's most important to the fan base, obviously, for the gotcha. We're ahead of you. What do you think of that? Florida, Miami, and these days Texas A&M. I suppose everybody needs to see that. It is remarkable. We'll see if they keep all these commits. It does give you, and Tom and I have talked about this a ton of times, but every time somebody else commits, you kind of scratch the surface again and have the conversation about recruiting and how shocking it is that they've been able to get this class put together after a 5-7 season. And it just tells you if they win some damn games, they're going to recruit like a monster. They may bring in, like Jimbo did in his early days here, classes that dictate terms of the future. And you could find yourself back amongst the nation's elite. And this class, listen, it's not filled right now with the creme de la creme in recruiting. Those guys all said yes to Clemson or Alabama or Georgia. That's who those guys said yes to, not us. But that's not a reasonable expectation that you can get those guys until you've proven beyond a shadow of a doubt that it's more than just a pitch that you have. It's a methodology that yields wins. And until that happens on the football field, you're going to have to settle for a class that's top 10, that's good, but not elite. And I think it's remarkable they've been able to do that because last year, without question, was so sorry, the on-field product, so sorry that I figured it was going to be an unmitigated disaster this offseason in our efforts to recruit. And it turned out not to be.
Well, yeah, that's due to a lot of hard work and Coach Dante Pimpleton, who was drawing some ire, I think, amongst Florida State fan circles, has rallied nicely to help land Knighton and now Toafili in the last few weeks. I agree with you. And the fact that these kids, by and large, are shutting it down. I mean, they all, at least on the surface, are saying they've shut it down, no visits elsewhere. But I can recall years past, Miami, they usually did a really good job in the winter and summer months, entering a football season.
Yeah.
And they got their class fortified. But what happened? They lose and the kids all leave. But a lot of those commitments are, I'm committed to Miami. I will be officially visiting the following 6 schools. Like within the same statement, they're like, all right, I'm going to do my 5 officials here. I'm going to see this game there. But yeah, Miami is who I'm feeling the love from right now.
Right.
What they're trying to do here is foster the word.
Shut it down.
The term, the way we feel about it.
Commitment. Well, it has a definition.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not just some willy-nilly thing. It's a commitment.
Well, it has 2 definitions, life and then recruiting. But they're trying to make life and recruiting into one kind of solid term for Florida State fans to expect.
It's exciting, man. I'm telling you, I'm very excited about the upcoming year. I think they're going to be a lot better certainly a lot better than we saw a year ago, but a lot better than a lot of people think. I really almost want to say that I'm very, very confident that is the case, and that will further, I think, allow for them to climb up these rankings each time we take a look at it. I mean, you start winning games, it changes things. Obviously, Clemson's got the best class right now. Then it's Alabama, LSU, Ohio State, Georgia. I mean, Georgia has just lapped the SEC East and it seems like on a regular basis, I'm reading an article about another 5-star kid that's taking a good long look at Georgia. And obviously what Clemson's done, they've got 6 5-stars.
6 freaking 5 stars.
5 stars. It's a class unlike any we've seen in the ACC. It's unbelievable. You got to go back to some of our classes to see anything like this in the ACC. So you got to give them credit. And that's who you're trying to hunt down and catch. And you can only do that with wins. But without those wins, you've somehow amassed a class that's currently ranked in the top 10 at number 8. Again, these things are fluid. We'll find out if in the coming weeks Miami or A&M or Michigan or Notre Dame or others start to add to their class. But, this has largely been the successes anyhow in terms of being able to get this class into the top 10. It's largely been about the number of players in the 4-star class that we've been able to bring in. The fact that you're double-digit now with 4 stars after 5 and 7, they deserve kudos. And now, if they go out and stink, they'll deserve to be fired. but right now, they deserve kudos for somehow finding a way to convince kids last year was an anomaly. I promise you, we were going to be a much better team. Believe in us, trust us, commit to us, be part of that change.
Yeah, let the on-field coach help the recruiter version of each and every one of you in that staff. That's the message this year. If they win 9 games, you'll probably see 1 or 2 5-stars, right? In addition to all the 4 stars, plus another 3 or 4 in that 4-star category. And now you're talking about a class in the top 6 or 7, at least, nationally, if you're looking at the composite rankings. That's really exciting. But just how, in May and June, everything we talked about came back to specifically the offensive line. I think now every talking point, every storyline comes back to, okay, it all depends on how we play in the regular season.
Right.
It's all about Boise and then that first 3-game stretch where it's Boise in a neutral site and then Virginia on the road. And it feels like time has slowed down a little bit, I got to be honest.
One of the things that I did when I was going back trying to get information on this young man, and then, of course, it allowed for me to read more on Jalen Knighton, and then really I started exploring the class as a whole. And, we're going to sign a big class. Florida State's looking to sign, I think, more than 25 kids, certainly 25 at least. And they're going to sign a big class, and they need to. I mean, you got to overhaul this roster.
Yeah.
You got to get with the getting. And what I did do was go back and look at a guy like Malachi Wideman, who's a 4-star kid at 6'4" at wide receiver, and we remember his video and the basketball and all that other stuff. So he's an athlete, And I started to look at the class, and I was once again reminded that lost in the shuffle of all this is that it would appear, without question, that you have finally brought in a quarterback that kids are going to follow, that seems to be an unquestioned leader, that is the cornerstone of the class, has worked hard to bring others to the class, and has real ability. I mean, like Florida State level ability.
Yeah, you know what? That's right. Weidman is the two-sport athlete. I think I confused that with Travis Jay, who's already on campus, because Travis Jay was a two-way player on the football field, and Willie had said on signing day that if push came to shove, he's so athletic that he could play quarterback for us if we were in dire circumstances. Hopefully it never comes to that.
No.
But, yeah, we do have some headliners here. Just like last year's class, despite going 5-7, had some headliners, especially kind of guys that could get in January in Akeem Dent and Dante Lucas. Yeah.
By the way, how important was that?
Yes.
I mean, think about those
important.
two individuals alone.
Critically
think about
important.
That. Huge.
I would say, too, here to expect, just between both big services, both big recruiting services, and watching those insiders speak about some of the kids that committed to us, they're only going to go up in the rankings once their season.
Some of the threes will be fours.
Right, or some of the fours are going to be high fours, maybe borderline kind of guys. Once their senior season film is out, and once the word gets out to some other big-time schools, and they're going to get offers from more Power 5, preeminent power schools. That's how these things are going to work. A lot of times in the recent 3 or 4 years, you look at Florida State's recruiting class, we'd have higher rankings, let's say, in March than we did the following February.
Right.
It looks like this is a class that's only going to get stronger with the kids being ranked higher as we get closer to early signing day and national signing day.
Yeah, and by the way, again, I mentioned that moves us into the top 8. If you're looking at the composite rankings, that's where it puts us. Top 8 is rather remarkable. I don't know how much higher we can go at this point, given what we've been able to accomplish. But if you're wondering, and I always do this, and I hadn't mentioned it yet with Toafili, who did we beat out for his commitment to Florida State? Yeah, Alabama. Yeah, Alabama, Auburn. If you got a running back looking at Alabama, Auburn, and Florida, as well as us. Okay, this isn't you beat out Tulane. You beat out Alabama, and they don't think about the running backs that have gone through Alabama. They don't tend to whiff.
Yeah, kids who have the offers,
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're getting an offer now, again, he's got to put on some size, obviously, but he's 180 pounds right now. He's got time, but he all the other stuff has to be there if Alabama's recruiting you, if Auburn's recruiting you.
Everybody who's watched him, be it in person or they've watched extended clips, not just the highlight reels, they say his burst translates immediately.
He's a top 100 player in the country.
Yeah.
He's a top 100 player in the country. He's a top 10 running back in the country, and he's top 20 in the state of Florida, and you know how loaded the state of Florida is. So, okay. Congratulations.
Probably a take.
You buying into this offensive line stuff Corey Clark's writing about, and other people are talking about?
No.
It's everywhere right now.
He wrote, I've been so busy today, I haven't read anything.
Listen, I've talked to a couple people. I talked to somebody last night who would know, too, who's been over there every day, and as much as they can tell me. And they're like, listen, and I love when people preface things, and we'll come back and talk about this in a second, but listen, not for nothing.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, here we go. Here it comes. I'll tell you what they said in a second. It's a little Florida State offensive line talk. Jeff Cameron Show, 97.9 ESPN Radio.
Sorry, boys, I did not have time to pack.
We got this. It's right here, guys. We got this.
I thought I could handle it.
We got this.
Moving doesn't have to be a hassle. Call us first at 2 Men and a Truck. No matter the move, home or business, we'll make it a smooth one.
I forgot something.
We got this.
Are at 926 North Monroe Street is great for those winding down from a long day. With the largest humidor in town, affordable cigar lockers, a large covered patio, and private conference rooms, there's something for everyone to enjoy. Cigars of Tally, open 7 days a week. Need cigars? Get your ash in here.
Seminoles, it's 2019 and a new football season is amongst us. It's a new day, and we have an opportunity to build this program back to where it belongs, together. Every day we get one step faster, one rep stronger. The journey to the top includes you. We are one tribe together, and we remain unconquered. We need you in Doak Campbell Stadium this fall, and that begins by getting season tickets now. Visit us online at Seminoles.com or call 1-888-FSU-NOLE and get ready to hear
Touchdown, Florida State!
very soon.
You're listening to The Jeff Cameron Show on 97.9 ESPN Radio.
Hey, a reminder, folks, they extended it. War Chant, my friends at warchant.com extended their big sale, the flash sale that I told you about yesterday. I'm telling you about it again right now. Extended to tonight, midnight. There you go. And what you get, if you subscribe by midnight tonight, you'll receive a $75 e-card to adidas.com, a $25 e-card to Garnet and Gold, and 25% off your subscription. That's a lot of value, $125 of value, and extra apparel and discounts. All you got to do is use the promo code Adidas. Warchant.com, home of wall-to-wall FSU camp and recruiting coverage. Again, warchant.com flash sale ends now tonight at midnight. So they extended it. You got your chance. Make it happen. So I was mentioning before the break that some people have been telling me more than one, and some that don't know each other, so it's not like they're talking points going back and forth with each other.
The old double blind, huh?
Yeah. So scientific method around over here, buddy, to get my info for when they're out at practice and we're in here. But they've come back to tell me that, dare I say, they usually preface it, there's a caveat, there's something along those lines. I'm just saying, you might be surprised. They've been pretty good. Hold on. Who? The line. The line's been pretty good. Why do you think Laybourne's having such a good camp? Well,
because he's a freak.
Yeah, he's really good. And can we just mention as an aside, I can't wait to watch him this year more than any player on the team.
Really?
Yeah, he's special. Yeah.
I'd like to see Trayshawn with a comfort level in the offense. That should be fun, too.
Well, and Keyshawn Helton is really good as well.
Man, you and Corey have really both seen the same things.
If you watch him, he's a good player, man. He's going to do some things, and that's a lot. He's going to do some things. We got weapons. So it's really important that this first part of the conversation be accurate, which is that the offensive line is playing pretty well. Now, listen, you're going to hear them say a lot of things that guys say this time of year. They lie to each other. They think it's real. And then they get out there and somebody whips your ass and all that sense of kumbaya goes away. I mean, then it's revealed you got a lot of work to do. But it is nice to hear them talk about how much they've learned and how much they've taken to Randy Clement's coaching, because they didn't to last year's offensive line coach. They didn't take to him.
Pretty good. The term you got was pretty good.
Yeah, so here's what I'll say. It is relative, okay, to what they were a year ago, drastically better already. But what does that mean? Where does that put us nationally or in the conference, right? Okay, we said before the year that they just needed to be serviceable. Last year's offensive line was not serviceable. It was untenable. Last year's offensive line was the source of mounting frustration by the minute. It was the reason for some devastating results. So you got to – I said, could you just be sorry ass? That's the way I described it.
Mm-hmm.
Can you just be ass sorry?
That's it, yep.
Let's just reach ass sorry status. How's your offensive line, Jeff? Ass sorry.
He said that with pride.
Yeah.
He's a Knoll fan.
Yeah. Last year they were the pits of the world.
Makes
I think
sense.
he described him. I believe I described him as the pits of the world. But this year, I'd like to describe him as just ass sorry.
Y'all in the trenches. We're in the pits.
I mean, it was a toughie sitting around watching that stuff. So I want to be like, hey, everybody, like on a Monday, I want to walk in here and go, hey, everybody, did you see our ass sorry offensive line on Saturday? I did see our ass sorry offensive line, Jeff. They were ass sorry. How about that? They were ass sorry, Tom. I'm so proud of this ass sorry bunch. Look at them now, out there being all ass sorry.
Hey, everybody, have you seen my guards? They're big and salty and mean.
I would love to. I would love to sit back and go, look at this ass sorry bunch. We're up 10-0. All right, you ass sorry bums. Way to go. Man, we could get shirts. I love my line. They're ass sorry.
You could do. Remember the meme that was out there with the upgrade button?
Yeah,
right. And then you could say "Pits of the world" and it has the upgrade button
and then
with
ass
the finger
sorry,
on it, and on the back it just says "ass sorry." So you
Man.
confuse people all day long.
Well, it'd be great because if they reach ass sorry status, then we try to climb to sorry. Not ass sorry, just sorry.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe by season's end, you could go, look at this sorry group. Jeff, they're not ass sorry anymore? No, they're better than ass sorry. They're just sorry.
So what's the next step? I haven't memorized this flow chart. Is it butt ass average after that?
Butt ass average is correct, Tom. You nailed
all
it.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we get to butt ass average. And at the end of the year, when we're doing a season assessment and we're talking about 8-4 or 9-3, I'll say, well, the impetus for this uptick in momentum going into the offseason and the fact that we're headed to a bowl is that our offensive line went from pits of the world to ass sorry to butt ass average in 1 year. Who would have thunk it?
And that's why we went 9-3, kids.
That butt ass average offensive line led us to a 9-3 season.
Wouldn't it be a dream come true if Doak Campbell Stadium for the Miami game, November the 2nd, fourth quarter, are just chanting, butt ass average.
Butt ass average.
With pride.
Oh, my God. We're celebrating it. It's like delirium in the stands.
2nd and 6.
Yes. Butt ass average. But we're trying to salt the game away. 3rd and 2, Florida State. Butt ass average.
That's a big play.
Butt ass average.
Woo. Who do you give the ball to? It's got to be Akers, right? 3rd and 2?
Yeah. It was a 4-yard run. Set us up at 3rd and 2.
Mm-hmm. Pull Lucas. Swing him around.
He's actually good. He's what brings the lineup to butt-ass average. Yeah, man. That's I'm reading this quote, and I laugh because it's the kind of thing we would rightfully roll our eyes at. And I get it, man. I mean, you're hearing from these offensive linemen. Corey Clark wrote the story on warchant.com, and they're talking about Lucas, and they're talking about the new kid, Ryan Roberts, who's here, and he brings maturity. They're all talking about which I am really stunned to listen to them talk about. First of all, I really was concerned that we were going to reach a place, Tom, that we were going to get absolutely nothing out of our center. And it was depressing because he was kind of a guy you and I had both hung our hat on, right?
Oh, but you talk about deficient when we got to practice last year on the open sessions and snapping the ball. Holy cow. Like he and Randy just clearly, he and Fry clearly did not click. Because if he's able to snap the ball now without issue, what the hell was wrong with him last year in fall camp?
Well, I mean,
playing with a pinched nerve?
Babion Johnson's a guy that I had frankly given up on. I didn't think that Big Baby was ever going to make it. I was like, well, what do we, the guy's fat. He can't snap the ball. What the hell are we doing here?
No, all the questions I was asking to all the recruiting people wasn't he supposed to be a center? Well, he didn't play center in high school, but he projected as a center. Okay. Yeah, but he can't snap the ball, Tom. What?
Yeah.
How? How's that possible?
So I'm going to read you this quote. The new guy, Roberts, the one who brings the maturity to the team, who played in Doak Campbell Stadium last year, had a go of it. He talked about Babion Johnson. He talked about his other line mates, and he said about Babion, he's a dude that everybody respects on this team. He's a guy that will always tell it like it is. He won't pitter-patter around. He's going to pull you aside. You know what I say to that, Roberts? He's not pussyfooting. You say pitter-patter, I say pussyfooting. Mine sounds better than yours. He's going to pull you aside and tell you what you need to know. He's going to get on you if you need to be gotten on. He's the perfect leader you want to be in this position group. Okay, so there's a total transformation of Bavion Johnson. And that's one quote of many from other linemen talking about his role with this team.
Yeah, in terms of all the checks pre-snap and making sure that everybody's where they need to be.
I saw it. He's running around pointing. I was look at this guy. This guy's been reborn.
I guess it's just another voice in the room that made all the difference in the world. Has to be.
Well, I mean,
a new voice, that is.
I have to be careful not to get too on our previous offensive line coach, but it makes me want to say, hey, man.
If we are indeed pretty good by last year's standards, which is pushing up at that line of sorry to butt-ass average, then yes, it's kind of like looking at Derwin James in the NFL and pointing back to Kelly. Same thing.
Yeah.
Same
what were you doing, man? What were you guys doing?
Personally, I thought when we let him go and Clements was coming in, I thought, it's impossible to judge this guy because you had people olaying defensive ends that are right in front of him. So how am I supposed to judge whether or not he was good at his job?
But that's how. That's not supposed to happen ever. Get him to not do that. It's your job to not let that happen.
Yeah, but clearly there was something wrong between the ears.
Well,
and that's the only tackle we had on the roster. I mean, we had Arthur Williams in playing tackle for us last year.
It's nuts, man.
So I was like, all right, well, I don't know what the hell he could do. But if Clements gets a lot of these same characters to look competent, then yes, 100% the evidence now, like a clear window, points to the fact that Greg didn't know what we're
going to be like,
doing.
Coach Fry, what the hell is wrong with you? We'll retweet my boy over in Jacksonville.
We will. We'll wait. People could find it because they probably can guess, but we'll wait. But it will be
it was just,
if we run for over 200 yards against Boise, against that senior-laden defensive line, retweet it then and there.
Brady Scott said about this line and what they've accomplished up to this point, which is nothing yet in a game, of course. We've learned a lot more.
Well,
geez.
For starters,
okay,
we've learned things.
Okay, that's
last year we didn't learn. So
that's a direct shot.
This year we are learning, which is good.
That's a direct shot. When you begin with your quote as we've learned a lot more. We're also hanging out together more. We're all friends. We're having fun out here, and it's good to see. It's so much better than it was before. When you're having fun, you don't even think it's hard. You don't even get tired. You're just playing football. That's how it should be.
Oh, God.
I mean,
I think we know where he stood.
Yeah, not a fan.
Probably wasn't a big fan of the Wednesday practice last year. The berating.
Yeah, it's interesting, but we'll see, man. I clicky pins.
Mm-hmm. Click out of them.
Clicky. I got it. But hey, man, I like reading that. I like hearing that. I liked what I saw very briefly. I like when other people who are cynical come up to me and say, "I've seen it. They're better. They're materially, Jeff. They are better. When you watch them, you're seeing a noticeable difference, a change." Okay, yes, but it's against our guys, and we haven't faced an opponent yet.
Brian Burns was unstoppable last year in camp.
It turned out to be maybe a couple things. He was poised to have a very good season.
He was drafted on projection, not production on film.
Well, he did have like 20. I mean, he was.
He's a one-trick pony man for the NFL.
You don't have to preach to me what I think he is. I don't think he's a very good player. He had a very good year.
Yeah, the numbers do lie in that case as to what he was. I mean, versus DeMarcus Walker, what he was his final year.
Right.
One guy impacted the game. The other, racked up some stats. And he made a couple of big plays here and there. Big difference. DeMarcus was a wrecker. He was a game wrecker.
Yeah,
Brian Burns helped us win a couple of games with a couple of big plays, but he wasn't a force that you had to deal with down in and down
I don't think he was a real good player. I thought he was a one-dimensional player, and I thought, there were some numbers that were thrown in there that made it deceiving. But I'm just noting that he did have a good first step, did have a good year, and it makes sense that he would have been abusing our offensive line.
But it's just how the two different sports are played or games, the levels, right? Because DeMarcus didn't project, but Brian does. Because he's got speed you can't teach, whereas DeMarcus did not. But he had technique
DeMarcus
for
didn't
days.
have a position, man.
Right. And he could feast on guards that year, too, which was awesome.
And that Ole Miss game, He made that
Well,
guy
the Florida
bitch
game.
in the second half. It was embarrassing.
That Florida game was his masterpiece.
Good for him, too. And as in the pictures and the thoughts and everything we'll have in our mind about his career center around those moments. It's Jeff Cameron Show, 97.9 ESPN Radio.
Sorry, boys, I did not have time to pack.
We got this.
It's right here, guys.
We got this.
I thought I could handle it.
We got this.
Moving doesn't have to be a hassle. Call us first at 2 Men and a Truck. No matter the move, home or business, we'll make it a smooth one.
I forgot something.
We got this.
For a trusted closer. To see our stats on the back of our baseball card, visit wrongfullyinjured.com. Fonville Lewis Messer McConaughey. Personal injury law is all we do.
Man, it's definitely summer. And with the heat wave, it's hard to keep my cooling costs down.
Have you checked out the many products and services the City of Tallahassee Utilities offers to help you save energy, water, and money?
What kind of products and services?
Well, the city offers ceiling insulation grants, energy efficiency loans, free energy audits, budget billing, and energy retrofit grants, which can help enhance energy efficiency and lower your bill. And the Weather Relief Assistance Program, or WRAP, is also available right now, which also offers a one-time payment option that lets you defer a portion of your bill until October.
Wow, I had no idea. Where can I find out more?
Simple. Visit talgov.com/YOU.
The City of Tallahassee Utilities connects you to more than electricity. With a variety of options to choose from, you can find products and services that help you save energy, water, and money. More options, more products, more savings. Visit talgov.com/YOU or call 891-4968 to learn more.
I'm in a lot better place than our guy Tom Lang, Eddie. He's at jury duty. I'm with you having a beer at Gordo's.
Man, thank God. Jury duty.
The worst.
Dude, what would you say to get out of jury duty?
That I'm famous.
That works?
What's the worst thing you've ever said to get out of jury duty? There's the question.
I've told him that I can't possibly be on a jury because I think everyone should be imprisoned.
So you went the crazy route.
Oh, super crazy.
Everybody does that. The next time I get chosen, I'm going to act goofy. And just, and by goofy, I'm going to say something absurd like death penalty.
And then what you really get them is I showed up in a dress.
Gordo's, bringing the flavor and flair of Cuban food to Tallahassee since 1996.
Welcome back to CarMax Will Buy It. Let's jump right back into the action. A used minivan with 200,000 miles. Cassandra.
CarMax will buy it.
That's correct. The car you're driving now. Cassandra again.
CarMax will buy it.
You're on a roll. Any car at all, no matter what. Jerry?
Is the answer CarMax will buy it?
That's right, because CarMax buys all the cars, no matter what. No questions asked. CarMax will buy it.
Hendrick.
Get to the all-new Dale Earnhardt Jr. Chevrolet, a proud partner of the Hendrick Automotive Group. Shop the Hendrick Summer Sales Event all month. Find new roads in a 2019 Chevy Silverado 1500 truck, up to $15,000 off MSRP. Plus, get a 20-quart Orca cooler with the purchase of any new Chevy truck. New management, new buying experience, same Chevy. Come see us on Tennessee Street. Shop DaleJrChevy.com.
Cooler valued at $199. Not all vehicles will qualify for maximum discount. Must finance with GM Financial plus tax, title, license, dealer installed options, and dealer admin charge. See dealer for details.
Seminoles, it's 2019 and a new football season is amongst us. It's a new day, and we have an opportunity to build this program back to where it belongs, together. Every day we get one step faster, one rep stronger. The journey to the top includes you. We are one tribe together, and we remain unconquered. We need you in Doak Campbell Stadium this fall, and that begins by getting season tickets now. Visit us online at Seminoles.com or call 1-888-FSU-NOLE and get ready to hear
Touchdown, Florida State!
Very soon.
Get excited, Whataburger fans. Our one-of-a-kind mushroom Swiss burger is back.
And now it's an all-time favorite.
If you love mushrooms, you're going to love this burger.
2 patties, 2 slices of Swiss cheese, 2 layers of mushrooms. These mushrooms are beautiful.
It's a really good balance between hearty and savory. That au jus sauce on top.
The creamy au jus sauce. It really sets it apart.
Just adds flavor that makes you go, wow. It is just absolutely amazing.
It's not just a mushroom Swiss burger, it's a Whataburger mushroom Swiss burger.
Broadcasting live from the Tallahassee Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, Ram, Fiat studios in the capital city of Tallahassee. This is the Jeff Cameron Show, brought to you by Cornerstone Tool and Fastener on 97.9 ESPN Radio.
I've gone back and forth on it. I just want you to know I've come to a conclusion. I would not sign Ezekiel Elliott.
Really? That's about the off-the-field stuff. It can't be about his production and durability, right?
No, but I don't think it sets a good precedent. This is unprecedented. The guy's doing this now with 2 years left on their deal, man. What are we doing here?
Maximizing his value at a position that
I get it.
He'll be cast aside.
I get it. He should do that. But I'm coming at it from management standpoint in this case. I'm not doing it. We're not doing this. I mean, how soon till what's keeping Patrick Mahomes from walking into the office saying, screw it, I want a deal?
Yeah, what's keeping him is
what?
The ownership giving up a little bit of leeway when it comes to guaranteed contracts. If ownership had guaranteed contracts, this would never be a problem. It really wouldn't.
No, but they do have more guaranteed money now than ever before. And he's still playing under his rookie deal. Why doesn't he walk in there and say, I want $100 million? I'm the best quarterback in the league.
He should.
He's got 3 years left. You can't. At some point, the contract has to matter.
No, but it doesn't.
I think it does.
But here's why. Because in baseball, you have very clear set of rules about arbitration-eligible years and entry-level deals, and then you get your free agent-level contracts.
In football, you get rookie deals that are structured a certain way that are very different from the second deal you get.
You do, but they can cut you in a way that they can't in the major leagues.
Absolutely. Guaranteed money matters, and that's why it matters.
So
I agree.
That's what I'm saying. So what the owners have to do is, if they hate this, I don't think they do, because by and large, they end up making more money off of this. It's just this is the time of year where they have to wear it.
They're going to hate it. They're going to hate it if guys start doing what players in the NBA do, which is what this is starting to turn into. They're flexing their muscle, and I don't have I'm pro player.
Right.
I'm saying this. Look, the NBA is held hostage by their stars.
Sure.
You're starting to see this trickle into football.
But there's a huge difference in pay rate for the average player. It is a smaller league in the NBA, I'll give you. But then it also is about guaranteed dollars. They have the guaranteed dollars in the NBA. What they're leveraging in the NBA is off-season power.
But what I'm saying is that, listen.
When they're free agents, that is.
Paul George signed a deal, and less than a year later said, screw it, I don't like it, I'm leaving.
Mm-hmm.
And force their hand. That's insane. He signed a 5-year deal. That's insane. You want players to have power. Agreed. And in football, they should get guaranteed money because the risk of injury is crazy. I've always thought that the league was so behind the times forever. Back in the day, any player that held out, I completely agreed. I was like, let's go get your money, man. You can't sign a guy to a 4-year deal and then have him hold you hostage. He just decides he doesn't like playing with somebody or he doesn't want to be here anymore.
Sure, but if you're a player, he can't sign me to a 4-year deal and 60% of that actually be guaranteed, so he cuts me after 2 years. That's stupid. I think if any sport in the country should have guaranteed contracts, it should be
the
football.
NFL, but they have now put in more guaranteed money than ever before. And I think first-round guys get their money. I mean, they get their money. If you're an elite player, you get your money. It's usually before that last season under that contract that we begin to have this discussion. This is why it's unprecedented, is that you've never had somebody with 2 more years left on his deal say, I don't think so. I'm not coming in. I'll sit out the year. And, I think that example was set in a different sport. That's why I brought up the NBA. I normally side with players, and if I'm a running back, I'm doing what he's doing. So I don't disagree with him doing it. I also can't say you got carte blanche to just say screw any contract you want. It never matters. That you don't want that. You want guys to play for you. If you're a fan and you sign a guy, you'd like to believe that means something.
I don't, though, especially in the NFL. Especially the NFL. It's a league of mercenaries. I mean, that's the phrase, right? And for me, you reap what you sow. The NFL has put themselves in a place where they have the most leverage of any ownership group over our players' association across all sports worldwide. And so what comes with that is there's going to be pushback at some point. I agree with you. The facts agree with you. There's more guaranteed money than ever before for players, but they're not fully guaranteed contracts, and that's not even close to true.
No, they're not fully guaranteed contracts. I said that. And the back end money never comes. You'll never see
Correct.
that. I agree with that. If you're a 7-year vet and you sign a 4-year deal and you're in year 2 and 80% of your deal comes in year 9 and 10, well, then you had a dumbass agent. That's ridiculous. You signed a crazy contract. You should have never, unless you allowed them to do that to manipulate the cap and you got a big signing bonus or a guaranteed up front, which is what you wanted. A lot of players will do that. They'll say, fine, structure it however you need to structure it so that we can get more players in here because it's a team game. I got to win. But I'm getting $10 million today when I sign this because I'm never going to see the back end of this. And you know that and I know that, so give me my $10 million. That's fine.
Right.
I'm just saying you can't come in after signing a 4-year deal and say, I'm a year and a half in, I'm done.
Well, there's a couple of things I'd say if I was a player. First of all, when information is released about the contracts, I'd change the numbers that are put out there because the numbers that are put out there are patently false. Unless it's a 100% guaranteed contract, which I think, is it Cousins is the only one that's ever gotten that before?
He did.
Minnesota gave him a 100% guaranteed deal.
Since. I think there've been a couple of since.
But if I'm a player, let's say I'm a running back, right, and I make I get my rookie deal, and I'm a 2nd or 3rd rounder, and they say, all right, here's what he gets. Well, I'd rather my agent say that Tom Williams just signed a deal for $12 million guaranteed up to $25 million, rather than 5 years, $25 million.
Right.
Because the numbers seem a little bit higher than they actually are in reality. The perception we have when somebody signs, that's why we always say on free agency day.
Yeah.
It could say $160 million. What's guaranteed?
What's guaranteed is all that matters.
71 is guaranteed.
Okay, it's a good deal. Right. That's all. Yeah. I think football's tough, too. I will say, for me, if I've always thought players got to get guaranteed contracts. You blow out your knee, they're not going to pay you. I got all that. But I also understand an owner saying, I can't sign a guy to a 6-year deal and 2 years into it, he's going to tell me to go to hell and then hold me hostage. Just not play. He can retire and then go sign with somebody else or something. Man, this is ridiculous. What's the point? At some point, players do what they'll do in the NBA, which is I'm only going to L.A., I'm only going to New York, I'm only going here. I don't want to play. No.
Well, first of all, you got to be a star to do that. And
you do, and he's a star. That's what he's doing.
Right. But second of all, again, I'd reiterate here, at the position he plays and with the
so we have a quintessential understanding of both sides. It's one of those rare moments. That's what we were talking about before. You get it from management standpoint.
Right.
And I also get it from your standpoint, the player standpoint, if we're taking those sides. If I'm a running back, I'm doing what Devonta Freeman did. I don't know what the hell the Rams were doing, paying Gurley all that money. And that was guaranteed, by the way. That was stupid. That was done. They know he has arthritis. He's screwed. Now they're screwed. They're screwed. And they did it when they didn't have to. He wasn't even asking for more money. They did.
Well, for me, in that sense, if you look at hockey's salary cap structure, what they do, let's just say you sign somebody and the cap's $80 million, right? So we'll use it easy. And you sign somebody for $8 million a year. So that's 10% of your cap. That's a lot of money for a 20-man roster. Guy goes down, blows out his ACL. Or he's got some sort of injury, it's career ending. And you're like, well, the cap hit does not count for the entirety of the contract. You could put him on LTIR.
Nice.
And you could still recoup that $8 million to spend on somebody else. The point being that it's a fully guaranteed contract. And so in a sport like hockey, you don't see somebody sitting on the bench saying, well, I just scored 35 goals this year at $2.5 million.
Yeah.
I want to restructure. You can't, because everything's fully guaranteed on the way in.
Yeah.
And I think this is the unintended consequence of the owners not guaranteeing contracts league-wide. Because they don't, players' only recourse when they don't feel like they're paid enough is to get the money up front. Yeah. I have to get upfront cash today. I got to Montel Williams this thing. You need to give me the money I want. You got to give it to me right damn now.
Yeah.
Because I'm not going to make it in 4 years. The odds say I'm going to be hurt.
Or I'm going to,
Or you're going to cut me for performance.
Yeah, the tread is off the tire. And,
right.
Yeah.
No, that 4-year deal is not for real. Imagine having like an apartment lease, like the NFL signs contracts. It's like, all right, the first 2 years, essentially, looking at the price point guaranteed, they're going to kick me to the curb in year 3. I got to be prepared to move at any time.
Yeah, no, players have always had the right to withhold their services. It's their only leverage. I agree with you. I just think we're starting to see it earlier now, and that renders contracts null and void. If 1 year into a 5-year deal, guys say, I'm out, well, what are we doing? What's the point? It's just mass chaos. I mean, let's say he signs this new deal and it says, I want even more a year from now. Well, they're supposed to pay him again?
Now, if they give him a fully guaranteed contract, he can at that point.
He could. I mean, he could. There's nothing stopping him. He's like, it wasn't enough. I realized I'm more productive than even I thought. I want more money. Give me more. right now.
They could play a stare-down game, and
that's what they're doing.
Nobody would want to sign him at that point. I think people side in this case.
I don't know, man. It's crazy. I think somebody would look at
the number. Well, if he is the highest paid running back in the NFL, he says, you know what, I want to be paid more than the highest paid running back in the NFL for 2019. So I want $30 million a year, whatever the hell it is, $20 million a year.
Right.
Ain't nobody going to spend that much against the cap for
It's
Ezekiel
the
Elliott.
cap. That's the other problem is that it is a cap. It's a cap league, so they can only spend so much. And unfortunately, he's playing a position, which here's the other reason that I'm not signing him. I'm doing what Jerry's doing right now, which is, hey, have a good one. Enjoy Cabo. Here's the only other reason I'm doing that. Partly it's the off the field, which you and I have talked about. I don't trust him. He's had a million problems. I can't trust it after I do this. But I think the other problem that, well, they own the rights to him for the next 2 years. He can't go anywhere.
Right.
He can't do what some of these other guys have done. So if they do the stare down and they just fine him every day or whatever, and those fines go away when the guys come back, I know how that works, but he's screwed. He's under control for a long time. They don't have to do it. Now, they may lose games. You might say, well, they're going to lose games.
Mm-hmm. He's too important to him. He's got him over a barrel in this situation. I think they're going to sign him. I think they're going to give him.
Oh, now, I'm not arguing that they won't sign him. I'm not saying they won't. I'm saying I wouldn't. But you're right. That's a unique situation because they don't have an elite quarterback. He's their star on offense.
Yes.
Who could listen? One of these deals where, and I used them just a moment ago in this discussion. It would be fascinating to see it happen because Patrick Mahomes probably has more leverage right now than any player in the National Football
League.
In
history, right?
I mean, the Chiefs suck if you take him off that team. They're done.
He'd have more leverage if Tyreek Hill was actually suspended or booted off the team. But yes, he's got unbelievable leverage.
I can't imagine. I mean, it's unbelievable. He right now could walk in there and go, I want to be the highest paid player in the league.
Yeah, Jimmy Garoppolo was the highest paid quarterback when he signed his deal. What do you think I'm worth? He played 4 games.
It is still remarkable to think about this. Jimmy Garoppolo, in his career, and we know what his contract is, in his career, Jimmy Garoppolo has started 10 times. Mm-hmm. He started 10 games in his career.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now imagine Patrick Mahomes walking in, like
right.
you just said.
Pay me.
Oh, man. By the way, text Fan Cave to 66555 and enter to win an Ultimate Fan Cave from Bud Light. All right. Way to go. Over $1,500 prize. It's over a $1,500 prize giveaway. That's good stuff. Text Fan Cave to 66555 or visit trieaglesales.com. Must be 21 years or older. Drink responsibly, guys and gals. A message from the local Anheuser beverage distributor, Tri-Eagle Sales. Just so you know.
Good job on the beverage distributor. That's a tough 1-2 punch there.
Beverage distributor.
Very nice.
Yeah, it's tough. If I'm not going to push my luck on that one. You've had to say it fast, I can tell.
Yes.
Let's do probables. Let's get to them.
It's time for, how you say, with the pitching, probables?
Right out the gates, let me just say thank you, Jerry's Cigars. Appreciate you, Jerry's.
Man, they got 2 locations. Have you ever heard of them?
You've got to memorize. Please tell the people.
2810 Share Road, 2910 Cary Forest Parkway, online, jerrycigarshop.com.
They sponsor this here Probables. Yanks, Jays, Domingo Germán, Thomas Pano. Braves, Marlins, Dallas Keuchel, Elcier Hernandez. Angels, Red Sox, Dylan Peters, Chris Sale. Golly, Chris Sale. Not the year they were expecting out of him. Cubs, Reds, Cole Hamels, Alex Wood. We got the Royals and the Tigers, Jorge Lopez, Matthew Boyd. Indians, Twins, the not-so-nice Mike Clevenger, who's been really good as a baseball player. Kyle Gibson going for the Twins. Like that? A little delicate.
Very nice.
Phillies, Giants, Aaron Nola, Madison Bumgarner. Rockies, Padres, John Gray, Eric Lauer. And that, my friends, is a look at those that shall reside on the bump.
It's okay. I know nothing's wrong. Nothing.
Yeah, I did want to say also the soccer guys are coming up next. That's exciting.
We also fire the cannons. Tomorrow, 6:30, pregame coverage Bucks Steelers from Heinz Field.
I'm so pumped for football. Are you not? Are you ready to watch some preseason football?
I'm ready. I think that's ready is the right word. I'm ready to do it. Let's go.
I have real anticipation and excitement surrounding the Bucs season. I'm going into it eyes wide open. I know they're probably not a playoff team. They're probably not a team that's going to, push for a wild card spot. They got an outside shot. I'm not excluding that either. But I really think the franchise, for the first time in nearly a decade, is about to take a step forward. That's what this year will represent. They're going to take a step forward. They're not going to keep going backwards. They're not going to remain stagnant. They're going to take a meaningful step forward.
Well, I think that obviously the quarterback has come a long way on the field, but also in the press room. He got rid of some of his advisors in the last 12 months and media representation. And if you watch his press conference from Tuesday, that's about as well as he's handled questions since he's been in Tampa. Very in command at the podium.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10, 11, 12, 13 games tonight. Is that right?
Sounds about right.
Football everywhere. Woohoo! Good work out of you. Good work, Matthew. Be well, everybody. Soccer guys next. Stay tuned.
You'll find me. Never